S is for the S's that have disappeared. H is for Haas, it's changed, my dear. I is for incredible, lots of changes to our edibles. F is freaky cause Mandela effects are all the buzz. And T is for time that's running fast. Y is for your memories, hope they last. If it's not a fun day, won't you join me Shifty Sunday? Shifty Sunday for Emmys. Shifty Sunday, if you please.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shiffty Sunday. Hebro77 here, and this is our Christmas special Shifty Sunday. So we got with us, Sagittariusly speaking, and he is dressed as a snow dog, it looks like, with a Santa Claus hat on. Looks cool. And we are also joined by Raven Hawk. I love saying that name, Raven Hawk. And she is dressed like a goth chick that is dressed like a Christmas ornament, seems like. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
Go ahead, Raven. You go first.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing good. And she's sitting on top of a Christmas ornament.
Oh, okay.
She's my little goth chick.
I was wondering about that. So
yeah, that looks like just a pretty cool one. I just recently saw there's a new Frozen movie, Frozen 2, I guess, the sequel. Is there anybody familiar with that? Do they have kids that age watching that? Is it any good?
Not me.
I don't know. My daughter's wanting to see it, but we'll go see it when it's no longer new. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I was just curious. That ornament made me think of the movie for some reason, even though it's kind of like the opposite of it. But
hey, what's going on here? Wait a minute. Something's going on. Uh-oh.
What happened?
What's it doing? Am I shifting? Oh my gosh, I shifted.
I think you shifted.
Oh my gosh, I've shifted into another reality where I have a funky looking Santa Claus hat.
Uh-oh.
What the heck happened there?
I don't know. Your avatar had on a hat. Maybe it kind of crossed the dimensions.
Oh, well, there I am. I'm back again. I guess I shifted back. So, whew, that was close, man. For a minute there, I was in another dimension. I didn't know where the hell I was. But hey, you look like you shifted too.
Who shifted?
Sagittariusly speaking has shifted. Is that a giant marshmallow? Am I seeing things? What's going on? I think I'm seeing a giant marshmallow. Oh, okay. He hasn't shifted?
Not that I can tell.
Oh, okay. Phew. Man, I was freaking out there for a minute. Okay, well, I'm back. And no, we got to bring some humor into it. So this is our all Christmas show. And no, we're not going to do I know you asked me earlier if we were going to do the songs. One song we're not going to cover tonight will be what is it? Joy to the World. We will not be covering that one.
I have a different Christmas song with possible Emmy potential. I need to run past you guys at some point tonight, whenever you're ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll have the phone lines open here at the 11th hour of the show, but Right now, I think we have a lot of interesting things to talk about. We're going to go over the history of Christmas, how it started, how it did not, the true date of Jesus's birthday. We have that as well, but we can start that a little bit when we have more people watching. Uh, by the way, Teresa Lynch is in the house tonight. Thank you for joining us, Teresa. Um, so, Sagittariusly speaking, and Raven, I guess I asked both of you guys this. Raven, how did your weekend go?
It was a pretty decent week. I spent one night in the ER.
Oh man.
Uh, yeah, I'm having some pain in my right side, and they did a CT scan and a ultrasound and found nothing. So I'm still in pain, and I go to my doctor tomorrow, so hopefully he'll order some more tests, and we'll find out what's the culprit.
What side is it? Did you say your right side?
Yeah, my right side. I was thinking maybe it was my gallbladder, but nope, it was fine.
Oh, okay.
They checked my gallbladder, my liver, my right side kidney, my spleen, and my appendix. Nothing
I
wrong
know
with
this
any
is
of them.
I know this is kind of a silly question, but what does the gallbladder do? I can't remember.
It I could answer this if you want me to. It actually works with the functions of the liver and helps filter the blood, filters like alcohol and certain foods and stuff like that. But go ahead, Raven. You were saying something about it. What is your take on the appendix, or not the appendix, the gallbladder and what it does?
It helps to filter out fatty foods
Okay.
also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people who don't have a gallbladder have a really hard time eating fatty foods because they don't get enough bile in their liver to help screen it out. And that's what the gallbladder is supposed to do, bring in more bile to screen out fatty foods.
Gotcha.
That would explain why I've been getting so fat here lately. It's not screening it out.
Well, it probably can only screen so much, you know. I'd say my gallbladder probably works double duty.
I would say mine probably doesn't screen out anything because it's non-existent anymore.
Oh well, dang, yours done quit its union job, huh?
Yeah, it punched out. It signed its last card. It said goodbye. It unfortunately it walked away from me a few years ago, quite a few years ago. At this point in time, I do say, yeah, I was having side pain like Raven here was explaining, and I did notice that every time I'd eat or drink something, I'd have really severe stomach pains. And I was wondering what in the hell's going on, man. Like these stomach pains, I had never felt pain like this before in my life. And I mean, it was freaking just awful, man. And I had one trip to the emergency room. And like, oh, it's probably your gallbladder and this and that. And, but they sent me home with some stomach medication and told me to lay off the acidy foods and fattening foods and stuff like that. And sure enough, about a week later, I had stomach pains that were so severe they were causing me to pass out in the middle of the night. And so I had to take another trip to the emergency room. And pretty much the same thing happened. They did a, what do you call that thing that you do to pregnant women?
Ultrasound.
The ultrasound.
Yeah, that's it. They ultrasound my belly and said, "Yeah, your gallbladder, man, it's not good." But then again, it's good enough. So we'll send you home with this medication. So Sure enough, about a week or so later, it did it again. And this time, when we got to the hospital, I was like, "Man, look, this problem has been persistent, and I'm getting really sick and tired of having severe stomach pains all the time." I said, "Look, this I've already been told twice that it was my gallbladders. So, is there any way we can get this damn thing out of me?" I was ready for that sucker to go. I was like, "Look, man, you guys have sent me here 3 times, and 3 times you sent me back to medication." I'm like, I was just done at that point. I was like, get this thing the F out of me. I don't want it in there no longer. It's causing me persistent pains. And yeah, so I know a little something about gallbladder issues, dude.
I read about that in the newspaper. You took over the whole ninth floor of the hospital. You barricaded yourself in there and held that nurse hostage for 8 hours till the doctor agreed to do the surgery. I didn't realize that was you.
Yeah, that was me, man.
Oh wow.
They called me the gallbladder bandit there for a while.
That's right. That's what it said. The
Yep.
gallbladder bandit.
Yep.
The GBB. But I'm glad you were able to get it taken care of, and your attorney was able to get you free and clear, get you that amnesty and that pardon. So it all worked out. So that's cool.
Yeah, it all worked out. I'm not in prison for the kidnapping a nurse and holding her hostage and all that good stuff. So that's good. I'm glad they dropped all those charges.
Right. But I heard you were discussing movie rights and stuff like that, and I don't blame you. I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah. You know who I'd want to play me if they did play me as the gallbladder bandit?
Yeah, but it'd have to be somebody who's really good at expressing what really grinds their gears, which brings up the fact that you probably have one of those for today's show, don't you?
I think I do. I'll tell you. I'll tell you all about it. But we got to get a lot more people in here. Let's send the invites, guys. Come on, get in here.
So who would play you as the gallbladder bandit?
Seth Rogen.
All right. The kind of chubby Seth Rogen or the really skinny Seth Rogen?
The knocked up version of Seth Rogen.
Oh, okay.
When he was in that movie Knocked Up, he was still kind of heavy then.
Yeah, a little bit, but not too bad.
Right.
You just had a slight pot belly thing going on.
Well, that's me, man. I have just a slight pot belly thing going on. In fact, you
Right.
can see it in this avatar. You see that?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what happens when you stop taking stop lifting weights for a while, But seriously.
Well, you think you know somebody, then you learn one day that they've had their gallbladder removed. So thanks for sharing that story. I would have never known.
Yeah, you think you know somebody until they have one of their bodily parts removed. You're right.
Yeah, totally unbeknownst to you.
Mm-hmm. That's important information, man. You got to know about the guy with the missing gallbladder because that affects everything. Like, man, I thought I knew him well, but nope, he's got that missing gallbladder. I don't want to be his friend anymore. Screw him.
Oh yeah, don't order the red wine. Hero, we don't have that gallbladder. We have to get the white wine.
Oh man, that's what it's all about, having fun here tonight. But one person that's not having fun here tonight, as you notice, we are short one.
Yeah, it does seem like there is this avatar missing. I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's what's going on with that? What's up with that?
Well, I got something. I got some news to tell you guys.
Uh-oh.
God's armor got taken away by Colonel Trotman once again. Got sent on a mission, and they got him all the way over to. He has a secret mission to the Steelers football game, so he has to go there. He has to infiltrate the Steelers football game, and has to is a referee, and you know.
Well, you know what? They probably couldn't have picked a more honest guy than Armour to go referee a Pittsburgh game. I mean, yeah, I know he's a Steelers fan, but he's going to call it like he sees it. You know, he won't. He can't be bought off.
Secretly, between you and me, he's in there to infiltrate the referees association, the referees or something like that. But I can't give all the details.
Oh, like to expose the corruption?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll be breaking news on a future Shiffty Sunday when he gives his full report.
You're right. But
His expose into the corrupt refereeing of the NFL. It'll be better than a gematria video.
Today
what about today?
had some good news.
All right, let's hear it.
The New York Giants won their football game.
Well, that's
What?
what's up. How many
Yeah.
is that for the year? Like 3?
3. But it was Eli Manning who won the game for them. And
That's right.
I think he's retiring, so.
Right.
That's all part of
Well-
the corruption we're talking about, you know? It was the referee that did it, I'm telling you.
I'll tell you what, I always love seeing his face when that year that they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That was just a wonderful thing. I always think I'll never forget the look on Eli's face when he realized he won.
Yeah, Eli's been my man for quite a few years now. I love the Giants.
Honestly, I know Peyton, has better numbers and all that kind of great stuff, and he's a nice guy and everything. I ain't trying to take nothing away from him. But if I was picking and it was, either Eli or Peyton, I like Eli's just kind of quiet personality and the way that he don't put up the big flashy numbers, but he gets the job done,
Well,
I would definitely pick him.
The reason why he doesn't get all those big fancy numbers because he doesn't drink enough baby blood.
Well, that's probably true. But I wasn't going to go there.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to get, you don't want to assume they all drink it.
Oh,
Some of them don't drink it. You know what I mean?
I just assumed that all the celebrities and national athletes of that caliber, they're in some kind of cultic rituals. I just assumed that. I guess I shouldn't.
Well, I mean, I can assume that it's safe to assume they probably have a black and white checker floor somewhere, but to assume they're actually drinking baby blood's taking it to a whole nother level.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's not baby blood per se. Maybe it's like
just adrenochrome or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it comes from puppy dog tears, and it's a mixture. It's a mixture of puppy dog tears and baby blood. How about that?
Right, with just a little ketchup glitter sprinkled on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're on to a secret recipe. We better quit talking about it.
Yeah, or otherwise we'll be taken away.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that you were taken away to a padded room somewhere on Taco Tuesday.
Well, the room could have used a little extra padding to keep me from bumping my head when I drank too much.
Yeah. By the way, that Taco Tuesday over there, it's shifted. It's no longer, apparently it was no longer Taco Tuesday, but it was Tahoe Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tahoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember when we were discussing the name of the show, early on I brought up, we could go with Tahoe Tuesday. Tahoe Tuesday. Remember I said that?
I don't remember that, but you know what? I usually space out when you start talking anyway. So,
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
That-
you immediately shot it down. You were like, it'll only be interesting. You were like, it'll only be interesting to the people of Tahoe.
But you know what's ironic about that is I think our huge fan base comes out of Tahoe. So it worked out.
All right. Well, actually, later I'm going to play a clip where I'm bringing it up, and you're like, it'll totally never work. And of course, Dan the whole time thinks the name of our show is Tahoe Tuesday. Go figure.
Right. Right. And you were the one that thought of that. And I shot it down like I do with a lot of ideas.
Well, I mean, it was a great idea to be shot down because, in hindsight, Taco Tuesday is a much better idea. I can't believe I didn't think of that one first.
I thought, in all seriousness, though, I thought you did.
Yeah, well, maybe I did. I don't know. It's hard to remember. I just remember nobody liked the idea of Tahoe Tuesday when I brought that one up.
Do you think everybody sees our eyes turning brown?
Maybe.
Oh man, we got to end this one on a serious note, though. We do have a lot of stuff to go over, but I did want to mention something I called in about the other night on Dan's show.
Hey, I was listening last night when you finally got through after that long-winded caller who had about a million things to say.
Oh,
He had a long way to go and a short time to get there, and he wasn't, even in a Burt Reynolds movie or nothing like that.
Yeah, that guy had a lot of good things to talk about, and I think one of those things really resonated with Armor. He was saying how, I forget what it had. There was something in the Bible or something like that.
Yeah, that guy actually makes his rounds. Yeah, I'm not trying to discredit him. He does have a lot of good talking points, but he calls different shows and does what he was just doing just then and tries to get as many points as crossed. If you can get him to slow down and calm down and just talk about something, that's half the battle with that guy. And then then because he's kind of ADHD. He's hard to get. Okay, let's take a second. Let's talk about this one thing because as soon as he starts talking, man, he wants to tell you all of them all at the same time. He fires fast from the side of the hip.
Well, I had mentioned in the chat, and I was trying not to be so hard like everyone else was. I won't name any names, Stavely, but he does kind of remind me. You remember those Micro Machine commercials?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That talks real fast. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but you know what? He's definitely. You could tell that he wears his tinfoil hat with pride. He's nicely folded, and it's well constructed before he put it on his head. It ain't your wrinkled, already made some bacon with it batch. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I'm telling you. Speaking of things of that nature, the new Ghostbusters. There's a new trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie that's coming out in June.
You know what? I think I might have seen that.
Yeah. It looks good. What I've seen so far, at least the trailer, I mean, it looks like it's definitely going to make up for that whole debauchery that was the 2016 Ghostbusters.
I think that they're not even acknowledging that movie one way or the other.
No. If you notice, they said there hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years.
Right.
So that would, what the hell was that? Sound like someone's electric razor just went off in their pocket.
No, it was just a notification on my phone. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, I could have said something else, but I wasn't going to go there. This is a clean family show, even though it's marked not.
You know what? Speaking of clean family shows, does anybody have YouTube chat up? We can do a quick shout out. We're going on almost a half hour in now.
Well, I'm waiting for more people to get in here.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
wait.
you're looking at it. There's not very many now, is what you're saying.
Right. I'm looking for like about 20, 25 people.
All right.
Then we'll do the shout outs. But
So who we got so far? I mean, would you mind just telling me a couple?
I guess I could do a quick shout out. Let me scroll up. We need some scrolling music. Teresa Lynch popped in first. She was the first one to leave a comment. Lorraine Lamore, who does our theme song, she's here tonight. Johnner Games is here as well. Let's see here. Ravenhawk, of course. Affected by Grace popped in just a minute ago. Jenny Purty is here. Always good to see her in the chat. Euler Greg, he popped in. He said he will be right back. He's going to leave for a while. And Preliminal just popped in. So there you go. There's your shout out. If I missed anyone, I do apologize. But hey, you know what? If you're not going to talk, then you're just going to walk.
Bubbles is in here, or she was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Well, there it is. Bubbles. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Bubbles. But yeah. So.
Well, do you mind bringing up a YouTube video for me?
Yeah, sure. Why not? What's up?
Just type in "I'll be home for Christmas."
Oh, is that a effect that you found?
Yeah, I just want to. There's a Bing Crosby version, I think.
Bing Crosby might get us booted tonight.
All right, so don't do Bing Crosby. Not even like a 10-second clip.
I don't know. Lone was trying to do Bing Crosby one night and immediately got a message. So.
All right. Well, maybe.
I think we already discussed that one, didn't we? One time.
I don't know. I don't remember you and I discussing it. There's a Megan Trainor version.
Oh, I know who discussed it. That was when I had Sandy in the broadcast.
All right. So you already know what I'm going to say then.
Sure.
All right. So should we just move on, or you still want to revisit it?
We can revisit it without actually
playing it.
Right.
All right. All right. So basically, long story short.
Uh-huh.
Did you mute yourself? Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, so the song is "I'll Be Home for Christmas. You Can Blank on Me."
All right. Now, I'll type my answer in our private chat. But we'll let the audience decide on this one. All right. So there's my answer. You guys see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it looks like Raven Hawk. Raven, what the heck, man? Oh boy. Okay, you can participate, I guess. It doesn't hurt. But Ravenhawk says count. Affected by Grace's count. Bubbles says count. Lorena Moore says count. So it looks like we have a lot of counts here.
My answer was count. I couldn't imagine it as anything else.
All right, my answer was count as well. So what is it now?
It is now plan.
Plan?
You can plan on me.
You could plan on me?
Yeah.
Like
That doesn't make any sense.
I
That's
mean,
not the one I thought it was going to be, but let me.
a lot of times you can get by on these clips if you change the speed, slow it down to 0.25 or speed it up or whatever. That way it don't play in the normal algorithm pitch.
All right. Crosby. I'll be home for. It should have popped up already. There it is. All right, let me hit the button here.
Started at about 10 seconds.
Well, just a second here.
All right.
I got to get everything. Okay, let's say I probably got a copyright claim just for that. That's what
I said. Slow it down to 0.5 or something, and then started at 10 seconds in.
0.5. What if I speed it up? That sounds better.
Okay, do speed it up then.
So what at what point in the song should I enter it at?
At like 9 or 10 seconds.
Let's try 9 seconds.
All right.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Oh, that's too slow. That's disturbing, man. Hold on.
Oh, that was cringeworthy.
Yeah. Let me actually okay, let's do this. It sounded like he said count on me right there.
No, he said plan.
Yeah. You were talking over it, but go ahead and play it again. You done played it now. Just play that. Only don't play anything before or past that. Keep it right at that spot.
Oh, that sounds cringeworthy too. Hold on, let me
Put it at 1.25.
hold on, man. 1.25. All right. Let me rewind that back to 10 seconds. 9 seconds. Listen to it carefully. I could swear I still hear you can count on me, but listen to it very carefully.
For Christmas, you can plan on me.
Oh my God. Now I heard it the other way that time.
I heard it the same both times. It's plan.
Really?
Yeah, same here.
Huh.
I think you were just talking over it before it messed you up a little bit.
Well, let me play that again one more time. Let's see here.
For Christmas, you can plan on me.
Yeah, I definitely heard it that time. Wow, that's weird, dude.
Yeah. I thought so as well.
Yeah, I definitely remember count.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see if we can find any residue on this. If there's got to be people that sung it different ways. Let's go to is this Elvis? Here's the Elvis Presley version of the song.
That might get us struck too, so be careful.
Oh, it's okay. Hold on. So I'll do the same thing I did for that one and play it at what speed?
Just slightly off the normal speed, a little slow, a little fast.
All right. Let's try 1.5. And we'll get it to that 10-second mark again. Let's see. 9 seconds. All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Yep.
Oh, he's saying plan 2.
Yeah. All right. I definitely heard that. Did you guys all hear that?
Yep.
Holy oh man. I wonder if there's any. Here's the thing. Give me a few minutes and I'll find it. We'll see if there's anybody who did like a cover of it. You know what I mean?
All right.
Let's see here. For Chris Mess cover. All right, here we go. Usually I find residue when I search for the cover works. So this one I'm just going to play at regular speed because it's just a individual. So
All right.
I don't think we have any trouble for that. But I am going to start it at 10 seconds in, 9 seconds in.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on
Huh. So they remember it that way too.
What did they say? I couldn't make it out.
I'll rewind it back, but it sounds like they're saying "plan on me" also.
Okay.
Wow.
home for Christmas. You can plan on me.
Yeah.
Yep.
You hear it that time?
Yep.
Well, let's see here. I got other covers here, so let's see how she sings it. This is another woman singer. All right, let me fast forward it. Get it to 9 seconds. There we go.
You can plan on me.
Holy cow. This thing's all over the place, man. I mean, it's literally everyone seems to be saying it the same way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let's whew. Okay, let me hit this one. This is an orchestra of some sort. Okay, get to 9 seconds.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on.
Whoa!
Yes! Yes! There it is.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I definitely will. Looks like we found some residue.
Yep. Who sings that one?
This looks like the Hipster Orchestra
Well, you know they're hip.
is what it's called.
Yep.
So apparently they remember it. Count on me.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me.
Boom.
That
That
sounds a lot more normal to me.
Yeah. It does me too. Well, there's one. Let's see if anyone else remembers it that way. Let's see here. This is another girl singer. So seems like let's see.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.
No.
All right, Truman.
All right.
I would
And in
like
case I missed you later.
the cover on the
Oh my gosh. When did she start?
for yesterday. The left
Okay.
hand.
Okay.
Today's video is hand-drawn Christmas.
Oh, there you go.
There's
Yeah.
another one.
She remembers Count on Me. This comes from Giveaway, is her name? Huh. Something Giveaway. All right, let's wind that back just a second. And hear it again. Oh, crap. Sorry.
You can count on me.
Yeah. There's another person remembers it that way.
Yeah. It's about even now, right?
Now let's see. I'll play one more, just one more, just to see.
Bang. All right.
It's a guy. There we go.
Happy Christmas.
I'll be home for Christmas.
That's a guy. Wow.
You can play.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. That guy was looking at it off his phone, so he was looking at the lyrics
Okay.
as he was singing it. Everyone else seems to remember
From memory.
from memory, right?
Right.
And yeah, well, there you go. That makes sense. We caught a couple ones there with residue. So that's awesome, dude. Right on, right live. We didn't plan this, by the way, beforehand. So that's awesome. It just come out that way. Well, there you
Good to
go.
hear it the original way.
Yeah, for sure. And it seemed like it didn't take us that long to find that either. Did you notice?
No, I mean, I honestly didn't have a chance to research it. I just basically stumbled across it right before we went live, and so I figured I'd just run it past everybody in chat and see what people said.
Cool. So
Because I knew for sure I remembered Count On. I got a chance to play it real quick before, right before we went live, and I heard Plan. I was like, this is definitely not. I would definitely want to see if anybody else out there is a Count versus a Plan.
no, that's weird. Definitely weird stuff, man. And you know what? We'll research it even more, and maybe one of us can make a video about it before Christmas.
Yeah,
I'll leave it to you two because I don't do content.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's all you, my man. If you want to make one.
There you go. There. I'll go, and I'll see if I can find a lot more residue. Where did you get this? You say you just found it today yourself?
Yeah, it was a poll. I saw a poll on Twitter.
Ah, okay.
It was 80-20, 80% Count, 20% Plan.
Oh, wow. So, well, we do have some more stuff, Christmas related. I'm wanting to talk about. First of all, let's talk about Christmas. A lot of people celebrate Christmas as the birth of Christ, but a whole lot of people don't realize is that Christmas actually started off as a pagan holiday and was adopted by Christianity. And I don't really have, I don't know what the years were for that or anything, but
Which seems to be the case for, a very similar case gets made for Easter as well.
oh yeah, Easter,
Even Halloween to some degree.
right?
Yeah.
And of course, Halloween was adopted by by the Catholics and was turned around and called All Saints Day.
You know what's really the most interesting thing about all of those is the way that over the years the symbology stays pretty much the same. However, the rituals themselves, the exact things that we use in the rituals, the objects change, the way we actually go about, depicting them and carrying out, our celebration and our festivities. There's slight variances, but overall, throughout the course of most of it, bottom line is you're still the symbology stays intact, and I always think that's interesting how it manages to do that, despite the different religious contexts and the different
Sure.
parables that come into play.
Well, that Jesus' birthday is actually depicted as sometime in June. I don't know where they get their numbers for, or where they get them from, or anything.
Well,
like that. Do the math work, but
yeah, I did a slight reading on it at one point. I remember, wasn't Mary and Joseph traveling because they were trying to go do some sort of census, go to Rome or somewhere. They were traveling to the main city, I guess Babylon, to go for some Bethlehem, yeah.
Babylon.
They were Bethlehem. That's what it was.
Okay.
For a census, they were to put their name in the census or something like that.
Actually,
they wouldn't have been encouraged to do that, I don't think, in the winter time, right?
Well,
no, they would have done the census either in late summer or early fall. So a lot of people think that Jesus might have been born in September.
Okay.
I always heard it was sometime in June, but I don't know everything, so.
Yeah, there's let me read y'all this. It says that the biblical accounts point to the fall of the year as the most likely time of Jesus's birth, based on the conception and birth of John the Baptist. Since Elizabeth, who was John's mother, was in her 6th month of pregnancy when Jesus was conceived, we can determine the approximate time of year Jesus was born if we know when John was born. John's father, Zacharias, was a priest serving in the Jerusalem temple during the course of Abijah. Historical calculations indicate this course of service corresponded to June 13th to 19th in that year. It was during this time of the temple service that Zacharias learned that he and his wife Elizabeth would have a child. After he completed his service and traveled home, Elizabeth conceived. Assuming John's conception took place near the end of June, adding 9 months brings us to the end of March as the most likely time for John's birth. Adding another 6 months, the difference in ages between John and Jesus, brings us to the end of September as the likely time of Jesus' birth.
I see.
And that comes from a site called Beyond Today, United Church of God. So.
Also, another thing, it's my understanding that King Herod, back in the day, had ordered for every, because he knew that Jesus was going to be big trouble, because in his eyes, he was big trouble because he was to be declared the King of the Jews, was King Herod's concern. He wasn't thinking about it like, oh, he's going to be like the Son of God and this and that. He was thinking about it in terms of who is a threat to my throne. And so with that being said, he had ordered that every newborn child in Nazareth be killed. And I always thought that was the main reason why they left Nazareth to go to Bethlehem, so that they could kind of conceal the birth of Jesus and that's why the three wise men had to follow a star. But that's just what I don't know. That might be something else entirely, or am I way off? You guys discuss this. I'll be right back.
I mean, honestly, I don't know one way or the other. I just heard what I had said earlier. That's the only thing I just recently read that.
Well, the only two things that I remember was that they said that there were shepherds in the field watching their flocks, and this was supposed to have been at night, if I'm not mistaken. And they said that that could not have happened in December because it would have been too cold and rainy in Judea. And then the other thing was that the parents were going to Bethlehem for the census, and they could only do that during warmer weather, which would have been summer or early fall. So that would have been around late August, early September.
Right.
So I
But
don't know.
here's really where my head is at on all this is the truth is we really don't know. The Bible don't give us an exact date for when he was born. We really kind of just have to decipher the information. And no matter how you decipher it, you're still not going to be able to pick out a specific day, exact day, more than likely. So why not just create a day, call it that day, so to have a day to celebrate his birth? Like kind of like if you adopted a child, you don't really know what day he was born. You might have some clue based off of when he arrived at the orphanage or whatever as to what time of year maybe. So you just put it in that general consensus of time, and you pick a day that maybe the day you adopted him, and call that his birthday. I mean, I still think it's more really important thing is that we're celebrating his birth more so than we're picking the exact same day that it actually happened. Does that make? I mean, are you with me on this, or am I just being too egotistical?
No, I mean they really didn't know when he was born,
Right.
and because a lot of the pagan religions celebrated something called winter solstice, or it was supposed to be like ushering in the sun god.
Okay.
That happened on winter solstice, and
Right.
back in the day, winter solstice was actually around January 6th. It has progressively moved backwards, as like the I can't think of what that's called. But anyhow, like the precession of the equinox and all that stuff, everything has moved backwards.
Well,
So,
I mean, it's supposed to be when the moon stops, when the days stop becoming longer and start transitioning to becoming shorter again, right?
no, it's the
Or
opposite.
yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, they quit being shorter and start to be longer again. Thank you. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So, because that day is based off of a lunar cycle, not a Gregorian calendar, to be more precise.
Yeah, but they were doing was they were tracking when the sun was supposed to come back to be renewed. So that's
Right.
what the pagans celebrated. They celebrated Mithras' birthday, which was supposed to be around the 25th. They celebrated the Zoroastrians. I'm probably not saying that correctly. They celebrated something similar. The Norse, they celebrated Odin's traveling back up as the sun god. All these pagans had these different sun god celebrations that would happen around winter solstice because the sun would start coming back up again and lasting longer. At the end,
Exactly.
right.
Now
So-
this would all tie in with the North Star, where the North Star was positioned because also, you have the three wise men following that North Star. So it would have had to been positioned in such a way. I'm not sure.
Well, that's kind of the thing about the North Star, Hero, is it's the one star that never changes its position. It's always fixated in the exact same spot in the night sky. You can always go north based off of its position, no matter where you are in the northern hemisphere. When you see that star, if you go towards it, you're traveling north.
That's not necessarily true, though. There have been I think we actually talked about this in private, and I looked it up, and there is times of the years where it's and this doesn't make sense, because why would it be called the North Star, right? But it does say there are times of the year where it's positioned a little bit either northeast or southeast, depending on the time of the year. But it only happens every once in a blue moon, literally.
And it's very faint. It's a compared to other stars, there's a very slight degree of movement. That's probably the least moving star of all the stars, is what I'm saying.
I guess what I was trying to say is the time of year where it would be most visible, like it would be the most brightest. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Like, is there a time when it's easier to follow than others, you mean?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
And I think that's also where they get this date of September as well.
And it does seem like, I mean, a lot of times when these pagan holidays are getting incorporated into, Christian and Catholic doctrine, I mean, it does seem like things kind of get cross pollinated a little bit, for lack of a better way of putting it. A little bit of this comes through with a little bit of that, where now it's kind of like a combo holiday. So that is the purpose of this, so that to help bring people into Christianity, like bring them in like an easier acceptance, or is it just simply because people didn't want to let go of all of their old traditions, but they were willing to let go of some? I mean, what causes there to be that some attrition but not total attrition of the previous, ceremonies and things that took place, as far as the way the holiday went for them versus the way it is now?
We can thank Constantine for that.
Okay.
When he became emperor and became a Christian, he wanted to bring everyone that was under the Roman Empire into Christianity. But he knew that he had a lot of pagans that were in the fold. So he decided that he would take a pagan holiday, which was Christmas, or for most it was either Yule or Saturnalia or Mithra's birthday, and he would combine it all as being Jesus's birthday, so that they would still be able to celebrate their holiday, which was pagan, but celebrate it as a Christian holiday. Now,
so it was more about inclusion than anything else.
Right. From what I've read, the early Christians, the ones before Constantine, they didn't celebrate Jesus' birthday, period, because they saw the whole idea of celebrating a birthday as being pagan. Because, they were told in the Bible not to celebrate someone's birth. Now, I'm not sure where that's at in the Bible. If we've got any biblical scholars in here, maybe they know where it's at. But they were told not to celebrate birthdays. So this is why a lot of really strict Christians, especially like the Jehovah's Witnesses, will not celebrate birthdays, because we're not supposed to celebrate birthdays. It's his death that we're supposed to be celebrating, because with his death came our salvation.
I gotcha.
So that's where some of that comes from.
Well, I don't really. I had never heard that before, but it makes sense now that I hear it. Now that I hear that, it's the first time I've ever heard of that. There's something in the Bible about not celebrating birthdays, though, because I had never heard that either.
Yeah, let me see if I can find. Y'all talk amongst yourselves while I look
Yeah,
for it.
I mean, Hebrew, are you familiar with this concept? Has it ever came up with any conversation you've had with anyone like Armor or anything like that?
Well, not with armor, but I've actually talked to a Catholic priest about it years ago, and his take on it was that we actually that the Catholics, the Catholic Church actually took from a lot of the pagan holidays just because of calendar convenience, so that it would add up with a lot of the other uh, religious holidays like Hanukkah and all that, which Hanukkah does not fall anywhere near Christmas, but it's celebrated towards the season of Christmas, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. It seems like there is more and more and more fat. Like, what am I trying to say? I can't even talk. More like Christmassy, wintertime things. I mean, what do you have? I mean, the list gets pretty extensive. You start running it down. You got Hanukkah, right? You got Christmas, and then what you got? You got Kwanzaa, I think is still a thing.
Kwanzaa,
And,
right? Mm-hmm.
And then and what was the other one? I was on Seinfeld. Festivus, that's a thing, right?
Festivus.
Festivus, is that real or is that just a made up TV show religion?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. And then you got Kwanzaa.
Right, which we mentioned. Yeah, Kwanzaa.
Yeah. I mean, is there more? I mean, I'm probably missing a few.
Well, there probably is, and we're just, we're not realizing it. I guess if we did a quick Google search, we could find all these answers, but
yeah, I'm doing that now.
Why do that though? Just
because I want to
know. Right. Oh man. So I see. Huh?
I found the thing that I was looking for. It says the first Christians were Jewish converts, such as the Nazarenes and the Ebionites. Such early Christians and Jews did not celebrate birthdays because they considered it a pagan practice.
Uh-huh.
There are no related, said early Christians, to pagan representation of sun cycles. For these reasons, biblical fundamentalists do not celebrate birthdays, including Christmas. It says that the only birthday observances mentioned in the Bible are those of two rulers who did not worship Jehovah, and that can be found in Genesis 4:20 and Mark 6:21. It says those who want to please God do not celebrate it or any other holiday that has its roots in pagan worship. So it doesn't specifically say in the Bible that you can't celebrate birthdays, but it does say that, that they just didn't do it. The Jews didn't do it because they considered it to be a pagan practice.
Yeah, right. And I can see that, That's what a lot of people talk about. They talk about, well, I don't celebrate Christmas because it's a pagan practice. But to me, it's the idea of it. It's the idea of. I'm getting feedback here, guys, from somebody. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I mean, again, it boils down to. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. But see, I was getting feedback off of one of your guys' microphone. I was trying to say that what it all boils down to is a lot of us celebrate. That's when we do celebrate Jesus's birth, and as long as you're doing that and you're celebrating Jesus's birth in your own way, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing that people should be celebrating Jesus's birth. But of course, anymore it's become more and more commercial than it has become about Jesus, and that's where a lot of people make it about shopping and Santa Claus and the elves and the North Pole and Christmas movies and stuff like that has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus, which is
Yeah.
But
I'm with you on that. I mean, it's probably the biggest first lie you're ever exposed to is when you finally come to terms with the fact that Santa Claus isn't real.
And see, that could be a touchdown subject too. It could be a sensitive subject as well. When you come down and you talk about Santa Claus, that could be something that can really, go ahead, man. I'll let you talk. I'm getting too much feedback.
No, I mean, I'm just trying to say, I mean, for a lot of kids, that's a rude awakening. That's one of their first rude awakenings. Like, because kids really do at a certain age are really all bought in on the Santa Claus concept, all the different videos and Christmas songs and cartoons and movies. We've hyped up the the old guy with the ho 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 and the red nosed reindeers and the and shooting down chimneys, leaving out milk and cookies for him. I mean, we really sell this gig to these kids pretty hard, and then eventually we let the cat out of the bag that he never really existed. I mean, that's just kind of like, I don't know. A lot of people say, well, what was your first truth or the first thing when it was at 9/11? Was it flat? Oh no, it was when I realized Santa Claus didn't exist.
Wait. What's this about Santa Claus not existing? What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I know, right?
What do you mean? You mean Santa Claus isn't real?
No, George Bush lied to you.
Oh man. See, now I'm crushed, dude. I don't know if I can continue. I don't know if I can continue with this broadcast right now.
Yeah. Well, let's not even bring up the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy then. What do you say?
What about the Easter Bunny and Tooth Fairy?
No, they don't. That's a whole different story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please don't tell me. Don't spoil it for me if it's true.
All right, so apparently there is 9 official winter holidays worldwide.
Wait. Real quick, I just wanted to bring up Lorraine the Moore's comment that he did exist, St. Nicholas. And we're going to get into some talk about St. Nicholas.
Yeah, you were going to talk about that. Real quick, I want to run down. These are the 9 official holidays. It's just a real quick, and then I want to see if anybody has anything they want to say on any of these, okay?
Oh, shit. Eddie Von King's here. Hi, Eddie Von King. Go ahead, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to say shit.
You're welcome.
Wait, what?
All right. For 8 days each November or December, Jews light a special candle holder called a menorah. This is for the holiday Hanukkah. They do it to remember an ancient miracle in which 1 day's worth of oil burned for 8 days in the temple. During Hanukkah, many Jews also eat special potato pancakes called latkes, sing songs, and spin a top called a dreidel to win chocolate, coins, nuts, or raisins. Did you know all that?
I did. Go ahead.
All right. 3 Kings Day. At the end of 12 days of Christmas comes a day called the Epiphany, or 3 Kings Day. This holiday is celebrated as the day the 3 wise men first saw baby Jesus and brought him gifts. On this day in Spain, many children get their Christmas presents. In Puerto Rico, before children go to sleep on January 5th, they leave a box with hay under their beds so the kings will leave good presents. In France, a delicious king cake is baked. Bakers will hide a coin, jewel, or a little toy inside the cake. Did you guys know that?
I just found that one out.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I did not know that till you just now mentioned it.
Winter solstice. The winter solstice occurs around December 21st. It is the shortest day of the year.
Right.
People all over the world participate in festivals and celebrations. Long ago, people celebrated by lighting bonfires and candles to coax back the sun. Wahahaha. And St. Lucia Day. It's Lucia. So this must be like this day that the CIA celebrates. I'm just kidding.
Bad
To honor,
joke.
to honor this 3rd century saint on December 13th, December 13th. Sure, there's got to be something there. Many girls in Sweden dress up as Lucia brides in long white gowns with red sashes and a wreath of burning candles on their heads. They literally wear burning candles and a wreath on their head. They wake up their families by singing songs and bringing them coffee and twisted saffron buns called Lucia cats. And then we got Christmas. I'm not going to read what Christmas is. We have Kwanzaa, which is the first, which means first fruits. Is based on ancient African harvest festivals and celebrates ideas such as family life and unity. During this spiritual holiday, celebrated from December 26th to January 1st, millions of African Americans dress in special clothes, decorate their homes with fruits and vegetables, and light a candle holder called a kinara. And the only other one worth mentioning that we don't already know, like Christmas and New Year's, is Mardi Gras. Believe it or not, is considered a winter holiday. It's the time of Lent. Is a solemn one of reflection for Christmas. So the Tuesday before Lent begins at this time of merry-making for many people around the world. In New Orleans, people wear costumes and attend huge parades for festivals of Mardi Gras. Brazil's Carnival also features parades, costume, and music. This day is also known as Shrove Tuesday in England. Some towns have pancake contests in which women run a race while flipping a pancake at least 3 times. Mardi Gras usually occurs in February or March. 47 days prior to Easter.
Right.
Then which segues us right into St. Nicholas Day, which I think you were going to talk about, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted to just mention what I know about St. Nicholas. By the way, the Catholics celebrate their can you mute up for a second, man? I'm getting feedback on my end.
Give me a second.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, cool. The Catholics actually celebrate Lent between March and April. April being Easter, but just before Lent, we have what we call Fat Tuesday, and I'm not sure exactly why it's called that, but I'll do some more research later. And then after Fat Tuesday comes Ash Wednesday, where we take the palm.
I thought it was called Fat Tuesday because you ate so much on that day because you're kind of like gorging yourself because you know you're going to have to start your Lent soon.
Oh yeah, well that could be, man.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man. Yeah, that's a very good point. Is probably because we have to eat fish on every Friday after that, on Ash Wednesday, from Ash Wednesday down onto Friday all the way to Good Friday. So anyway, with that being said, this will segue ourselves into St. Nicholas, and I'm going to give you a long spiel about it real quick, and then I'll let you guys I know Raven Hawk did a little bit of research before we started the show, so I'll let her kind of talk about it.
Yeah,
But
I've got a big thing on it, so go ahead.
all right, cool. From what my understanding is, Saint Nicholas was, and I could be getting this wrong, was supposedly like he loved children. He loved children a lot and stuff, and he always he would make toys for them and deliver to them through the night, because at that time there were a lot of Christians that were getting burned at the stake, that were getting discovered and drug out of their homes and thrown into prisons. You know, you hear about that whole the Crusaders and all that stuff. But anyway, so he would sneak in the middle of the night and put these little toys on the front steps or on the porch or door. I don't think they had porches back then, but door stoops or whatever you call them. And he would leave one for each kid that was in that community or whatever, or in that town, so to speak. And I'm not really too sure, and I know you've got all of the information there in front of you, but I always thought that he was patron saint of children, that he always liked to take care of children, and then therefore later, to become a saint, you have to perform, I think, at least 2 miracles, and you have to be dead for a long time, and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what all he did to become a saint, but I'll let you take it from there. That's all of my knowledge that I have off the top of my head without actually researching, and I believe you did that legwork for me, so I'll take it to Raven Hawk. Raven?
Yeah. Back in those days when he was alive, which was like 280 AD to 343 AD, you didn't have to have witnesses to your miracles. If people just said that you did miracles, then they would make you a saint. So I just wanted to clarify that real quick. All right, so Saint Nicholas was a Christian bishop who helped the needy. After his death, the legend of his gift giving grew. He transformed into a legendary character called Santa Claus, who brings Christmas presents to children around the world. He was born in 280 in Patara, Lisha, an area that is part of present-day Turkey, and I probably slaughtered that name. He lost both of his parents as a young man and reportedly used his inheritance to help the poor and sick. A devout Christian, he later served as Bishop of Myra, a city that is now called Dimre, and that's in Turkey. There are many legends about Saint Nicholas. One story tells how he helped 3 poor sisters. Their fathers did not have enough money to pay their dowries and thought of selling them into servitude. 3 times he went to their house secretly at night and put a bag of money inside. The man used the money so that one of his daughters could marry. On the 3rd visit, the man saw St. Nicholas and thanked him for his kindness. He also reportedly saved 3 men who were falsely imprisoned and sentenced to death. So after his death, which they say he died around December 6th of 343, it says, over the years, stories of his miracles and work for the poor spread to other parts of the world. He became known as protector of children and sailors and was associated with gift giving. He was a popular saint in Europe until the time of the Reformation in the 1500s, a religious movement that led to the creation of Protestantism. And they turned away from the practice of honoring saints. However, he still remained a popular saint in Holland. The Dutch continued to celebrate the feast of St. Nicholas on December 6th. It was a common practice for children to put out their shoes the night before. In the morning, they would discover the gifts that St. Nicholas had left there for them. Dutch immigrants brought the legend of St. Nicholas, known to them as Sint Nicolaas, or by his nickname Sinterklaas, to America in the 1700s. And that is how we got Santa Claus. They said that in 1820 there was a poem, an account of a visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore, who described him as a jolly, heavy man who comes down the chimney to leave presents for deserving children and drives a sleigh pulled by flying reindeer. And the cartoonist Thomas Nast added to the St. Nicholas legend with an 1881 drawing of Santa as wearing a red suit with white fur trim. One of a kind, charitable bishop, St. Nicholas had become the Santa Claus we know today. There we go. And you can find that on the Biography Channel webpage if you just look up St. Nicholas. Y'all get all that?
Sorry, I was muted up, but yeah, man, that's very good reporting there. Thank you for that, researching that, and that's a lot of very interesting things. Saji's all muted up there, but have you ever seen that movie, The Santa Claus? Not the one with Tim Allen in it, but the original. I think it's called Santa Claus, or maybe it's called The Santa Claus. You ever see that movie?
Do you know what year it was? Because I've seen a lot of Santa Claus movies.
I think it was like 82 or 83 or something like that. Here, I can look it up. It's actually a pretty cool movie. This guy, he starts off as Nick. So Nicholas, Nicholas. Let's see here. I forgot what I was. Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. Oh man. No. I'm getting the Tim Allen movie now. Oh wow, this is weird. Is this a Mandela effect, guys?
What?
This the Santa Claus, the Tim Allen Santa Claus?
I don't
Could you be
know.
a little more specific? I mean,
Well, what I have here, okay, check this out. The IMBD page has it listed as the Santa Claus, 1994. This is the Tim Allen one.
mm-hmm.
But yet, let's see here. When I went to look it up, I gotta type it in again. Huh. Let's see here. The Santa Claus. Here's this. It shows here. It just says Santa Claus. Let me share my screen. Open results in browser. There we go. I'll just share the. Here we go. Share. Application window. No. Application window. See if you guys can see this. Do you guys see that?
I just see a blank screen.
Do you?
Yeah, it's blank.
Well, doggone, I probably did it wrong. Hold on. Let me try this again. Screen share. You guys are going to see the infinity screen here. There's the infinity screen. Wow. That's infinity plus infinity. Okay, now can you guys see it?
Yeah.
The Santa Claus.
It says down here, the Santa Claus, but look at this picture right here.
Move your cursor to the things on it. It just says Santa Claus there.
Yeah, it just said Santa Claus.
Huh.
So has this changed?
I don't know. I always knew it as the Santa Claus because he was doing it because of a clause in the contract.
Right. Oh, here's the part. There's the, but this one just shows regular Santa Claus. So the word "the" is still there. Okay.
All right.
It's just different things. Now here's the movie. Oh no. I'll tell you what. Let me do this. Let me look up 1980 movie. Does it show it here? No,
I remember. I know this is terrible, but have you ever seen the meme where somebody changes it? Like if you rearrange the letters on Santa, it says Satan, and then the claws, and then they show Satan's claws coming at you.
This is the movie I'm talking about right here with Brian Dennehy. I think it's Brian Dennehy. Do you see that?
Right.
Do any of you guys remember this movie?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wait, let me go back. Sorry. That one.
Barely.
I don't know. I guess I know that I've asked this before and it's been shot down, but I still I want you guys to know that until 2 years ago, I had never heard of the Krampus. That's like a brand new thing to me. Like I can't believe I will live my whole life and this Krampus thing has existed, yet it's always slipped past me somehow.
Now I remember Krampus.
Yeah, most everybody else seems to remember it too. But somehow I've never known about Krampus my whole life.
I've gone my whole life until this very moment. Explain to us Krampus for those Krampuses that know about Krampus.
He's like the Russian anti-Santa. He's like Santa's nemesis. He comes in the middle of the night and basically torments children.
Oh wow!
Instead of bringing them, but he's like Santa, but evil Santa. Type it in Google, like Krampus. Isn't that how it's spelled?
Yeah, Krampus. In Central European folklore, Krampus is a horned, anthropomorphic figure described as half goat, half demon, who during Christmas season punishes children who have misbehaved.
I usually just get lumps of coal. I don't get any Krampus demons.
The only reason that I know about Krampus is because I had a grandmother who was German, and she would tell us if we weren't good that Krampus was going to come get us instead of Santa.
Oh wow! Okay, so you have sort of a personal connection with this this Krampus.
Yeah.
Cool.
To me, it's a new reality thing, 100%.
Let's see if we can tie it in with the song. The Krampus is coming to town.
No.
Yeah. As far as I know, there is no Christmas songs about Krampus. Now that would really shock me to find out there's a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer type jingle for Krampus.
You see, whenever I think about Um, whenever I think about Krampus, I think of like the little red dude, the Heat Miser. Remember the Heat Miser guy?
Yeah, Heatmeister and the Coldmeister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Heatmeister's like in Atlanta when they're trying to make it snow one year in Atlanta.
Huh?
Remember one time when they were trying to make it snow? Like this kid in Atlanta had a Christmas wish. He wanted to see snow, and Hotmeister was protecting Atlanta, and Coldmeister was trying to make it snow in Atlanta, something like that.
I don't remember that, but I remember that episode of Full House where they wanted snow in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Well, I think they just chose that city because it rhymed better.
It rhymes with Heat Miser?
No, it rhymes with snow.
What rhymes with snow?
San Francisco.
Oh yeah, San Francisco snow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a song out there called "It Once Snowed in San Francisco." That's when I call home. You don't remember that song?
No.
Oh yeah. I think it was sang by the Four Seasons.
Oh, really? All four of them?
Yeah. Like you know, wasn't their names?
Do you remember when they broke up? Their new band that was called Climate Change.
I thought they had a new band called Greenhouse Effect.
Oh no, that was when he went solo.
Oh, okay. I see. Hey,
Hey, everybody, it's a commonly held mistake.
Hey, you know what? I remember the other night when we were talking about Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about how god awful that movie is, but it's so well requested. It's never been released to VHS. It's never been released to DVD. The only way to get it would have been for someone that had recorded it off their television set.
Yeah, they actually had a VHS copy from where they recorded it off live TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lone showed that movie a couple of nights ago.
Did he get shut down? A lot of places are getting shut down when they try to play it.
No, he showed it all the way through.
Good for him.
He showed that all the way through, and he showed A Christmas Carol, the 1970s Christmas Carol with I'm trying to think of his name. That one guy that's in those movies that's you know.
Right. Well, it's important that you don't from what I can tell, if you put the title of the movie and that you're watching a movie and in that title, you're going to the odds of and you're monetizing it, you're not going to get very far. They're going to shut it down. But if you're just have your normal group and you just have a normal billing like you're doing a normal show, and you happen to start playing a movie, and everybody that's normally there is normally doing what they normally do, but instead you're watching the movie, no little flags start popping up on your stuff where you're a lot less likely to get shut down. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
He had the title in his his live show.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying it seems to me like when they advertise that they're doing the movies and stuff, those are the ones like I'll be sitting there watching for about 20 minutes and then all of a sudden beep. Right in the middle, it's like, they got them. But hey, I'm glad that you know what? I did check that out there for a minute because it was after we got off the air, wasn't it, last week?
Was that last week?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, listen. Um, I was going to have calls.
You were?
Yeah,
All right.
I had everything set up for calls, but I think instead of that,
Oh, okay.
if we can talk Michelle into doing it, maybe she'll come on and share some of her cooking recipes, her holiday cooking recipes. What do you think?
I don't know.
You think
Sounds like a pretty tough offer for Michelle.
you think we can talk her into it? Coming
Come on,
with us?
Michelle.
I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send her an invite. Let's see if she comes on. And if she doesn't, then I'm going to start making up my own holiday recipes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hear how you make like nachos with like pumpkin spice on it and stuff like that.
Yes. Mhm.
Pumpkin spice nachos. Hebrews pumpkin spice nachos.
Hebrews, cinnamon spice pizza cakes.
Have you ever actually tried to make your own caramel apples before?
I can't eat caramel apples, so no, really haven't.
It's
We
a
made
very messy thing to do.
We made those when I was in high school in my home ec class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, caramel apples, and then we rolled them in like pecans, and
Okay.
we also made candy apples using red hot candies.
Oh
All
wow!
right. Did those turn out good?
Yeah,
That does sound good, actually.
I think we
I
made.
don't like with the pecans rolled in it because they just all the pecans start falling all over the place when you try to eat it.
but it makes them pretty.
Yeah, it does make them pretty.
See, I think you're just agreeing for the sake of agreeing because she's going to beat you up later.
Well, I can't argue with pretty.
I'm not mean. I'm the sweetest person you'll ever meet.
I think he's just trying to stir the pot. Since Armour's not here, he's trying to make up for it.
Don't fall for that, people. Please do not fall for that sweetness facade. It's all facade.
Hey,
No, I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding.
Well, have you heard back from your invite?
I have just now sent the invite, so
Oh, okay.
We'll see. We'll see. I might. They come on. I might. I think we just scared off Raven though.
I didn't go anywhere. I'm right here.
All right.
I'm sitting on top of my little Christmas ornament.
You know how I forgot what I was going to say.
So who is the guy in your avatar, by the way?
Huh?
The guy in your avatar, who is that? Is he someone famous?
I think you might have heard of him. I think he comes from a little planet called Eternia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They celebrate Christmas there too?
Yeah, well, He-Man's mom is from the planet Earth, so
that's true.
She actually crashed over onto Eternia in a rocket ship. The whole story is a long story, but you can actually, if you actually watch the show, then you know what I'm talking about.
So she brought the holiday to the planet. It didn't exist before she arrived.
No, as a matter of fact, this Santa Claus hat I have on right now is from the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special. Do 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 do.
Oh wow, that's even better.
I know, right? You know what I think is funny is during the Christmas special, anytime one of the kids try to say something meaningful about Christmas, it's like Orko will say like, "No, what's Christmas?" And they're like, "Well, a long time ago in Bethlehem," and then it'll cut to like a commercial or cut to like another scene or something.
Oh, right as they start the story.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But hey, you know what? We have somebody, I'm not going to say who, but we have a surprise guest that's going to pop up right now. And I think she might have some Christmas sweets recipes to share with us. I don't know. Maybe if we twist her arm just a little bit. What do you think?
Well, I see her icon. It is Michelle,
Oh, is that?
aka Awake and Activate.
Well, Michelle, how did you get in here?
Hi, Michelle.
Am I in? I'm looking at the other screen. Hold
You're
on. I don't know what I'm doing. Hang on a second.
Are you awake? You're activated, but are you awake?
Yeah, I was thinking, shoot, do I need to go find a Christmas thing? But I was like, that'll take too long because I'll have to put it all the way through Photoshop and do everything like that because I'm not prepared. Yeah. Now, if you really want to know how to make your Christmas ham, I can tell you that very quickly where you don't need to put glaze on it. So when you make your Christmas ham, you do not need to put that sweet glaze on it so your ham is not salty. I like to make things homemade, as you know, and also with you putting the ingredients in it and on it, you know exactly what's going into your family's bodies. And, you know, if you take your ham the night before and you need a can of pineapple or a fresh pineapple, but it's so hard to cut a pineapple. It's just easier to get a can of pineapple that is sliced, not chunks.
Mm-hmm.
And then brown sugar and cloves. You put your ham in the flat side down. And you also need toothpicks, by the way. Sorry. And you take the pineapple slices and you put them all around the ham, almost like loops all the way around the ham with your toothpicks. And then in the center of each of the circles, put in a clove. And then take brown sugar and a teaspoon and pack each of the loopholes and in between the little gaps with brown sugar. Cover it with aluminum foil. Let it sit there overnight. Oh, and don't waste the juice of the pineapple. Put a little bit inside of the pan you're going to cook it in, and then either drink the rest or pour it all in. I usually like the taste of the pineapple juice, so I'll drink it. I'll put most of it into the ham, but yeah, I will drink it. Anyways, let it sit there and marinate overnight. And then put your ham straight directly into the oven. It takes about 2 hours to cook. Remove the toothpicks. Put the pineapple on a plate. A lot of people will like to eat it because it's really good. You do not have a salty ham. I've never had a salty ham come out from doing this. And you never have to glaze your ham. Usually when you buy ham, it will come with a little glaze packet for you to glaze your ham. You don't even need to use it. No need at all. And your ham turns out perfect.
Well, no, you know, when you were talking about drinking the juice, every time I get pineapples, like anytime I get like not crushed, what's the other one? There's sliced pineapple and there's
chunks.
Yeah, pineapple chunks. That's my favorite.
Chunky chunkies.
Is anytime I get a can of that, I'll pour it all into a bowl and then I'll eat all my pineapple, and then I'll drink the juice. That's the best part of it, I think, in my opinion. But you don't want to get the one that's like heavy syrup. You want to get the one that has its own syrup. So you got to watch out for that too.
Okay, one more thing that you can make. I'll tell you real quick. It's just really super easy. Go down to fresh fruit and get yourself some like cantaloupe or honeydew or whatever that you want. Again, get a can of pineapple, like you said, and drain the juice from it, but use the chunks, not the slices. You can use the slices, but you're going to have to cut them into chunks. But anyways, and then I go down the frozen food aisle and I get a bag of berries, assorted berries. Get Cool Whip and marshmallows, and all you do, there's no perfect way or whatever. Slice up the fruit and add it all into a bowl. Add the Cool Whip and the marshmallows and mix it all together, and you have a very fast fruit salad. It's really good. You guys are quiet. Did you miss it?
No. It actually sounds delicious.
Oh, it is, and it's really healthy too. I mean, the little kids will eat it because it's got the marshmallows and the Cool Whip, and they're also getting the fruit that they need. So, and it's not, you don't put many marshmallows in there. It is the mini marshmallows, but you don't need to put many of them in. And then the Cool Whip, and it really is good. It really is.
Now on the marshmallows, sometimes with the minis, you can get like the white, the pink, and the green. Should you get the colored ones or just all white?
I always use the white, just the white, plain white ones. But you could use whatever ones. Just realize that you've got food coloring in there.
Gotcha.
I have a quick fudge recipe. It's quick fudge. You know how you spend all day in the kitchen making fudge and the marshmallow cream and all this other stuff.
Rocky Road fudge, please give us the recipe for that. Actually, I know how to make it, but I want to see if you do.
Well, no. This is sort of like a bachelor secret of making fudge.
All right, let's hear it.
You take a great big spoonful of Nutella. You take the Nutella and you take spoonfuls of it, and you put it in your brownie pan or fudge pan, whatever pan you want. You want to go ahead and spray the pan first. Now, and then what you could do is you could add your whipped marshmallow to that, and if you want to add nuts to it, you can add like pecans or whatever. I know a lot of people like to add pecans, like crushed pecans, to their fudge, and there you go. You don't have to add any chocolate or anything like that. You know how some people like to use sort of like the baking chocolate that's unsweet or whatever, yuck. But you just take a jar of Nutella and scoop it out, and then boom, there you have it. There's your quick fudge.
Do you bake it?
You can bake it, or you can. No,
Why would you bake fudge?
You put it in the refrigerator and let it chill.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking brownie.
Yeah, you don't bake fudge. How I make fudge is with the chips and the no bake sweetened chocolate, or the blocks of sweet chocolate, and then you put the that milk. Oh my gosh, it's like more like a thick cream.
Condensed milk?
Yeah, baking. No, yeah, I think it is called condensed milk. I'd have to look at my cardboard recipe. And then you add the marshmallows, the mini marshmallows, and the walnuts. But you want to make sure that the chocolate, because you got to melt the chips or the blocks. So you got to melt those down. So you do have to do that part of the cooking. So you don't bake it. You do have to cook it. You melt it in a saucepan, and then you put your milk in there, and you lay it out. I use that paper. I don't worry about grease.
Like wax
pan.
paper?
Well, it's a baking paper
Parchment.
No, yeah, is it parchment paper? Yeah, that sounds right. And then you just lay it out in your container so it doesn't stick, and then also you don't have to worry about it breaking and all that on the bottom. It comes out in nice, good squares. And then as the chocolate starts to cool and set, that's when you add your marshmallows and your walnuts. Then you spread it into your pan, and then you refrigerate it, and it turns out perfect every time. It's really super easy. If you pick up the chocolate blocks, and you don't have to get unsweetened or baking chocolate, it can be sweetened. It can be milk chocolate. That's what I use is milk chocolate.
Yeah.
It gives you a nice fudge recipe from there, and then you can add whatever you want to it. Because if you want walnuts in it, or maybe you want pecans in it, or whatever your thing is. If you want marshmallows in it, then you've got Rocky Road fudge, and people make peanut butter fudge, and there's just all different kinds. So
Right.
with
Now, I guess if you use like Rice Krispie cereal, it would be like making Nestle Crunch, wouldn't it?
Rice Krispie cereal, I like to make the Rice Krispie treats, and then you put the sprinkles on it of the green and the red.
Okay.
And then they're really pretty. So you just make it. You get your marshmallows, you stir and melt them in a pan. Add the Rice Krispies again with parchment paper. Spread them out, and then put your decorations, your sprinkles, or whatever you want to do. Then let them set. And once they set, then you cut them into the blocks. So then, yeah, you guys got me talking about sweet stuff now. I just wanted to come on with something nutritious. And look what you done. I talked about a ham and a fruit salad. Now you guys got me telling you how to make all the junk food.
We'll talk about nutritious on our January 1st episode when we're doing our
Everybody's
New
going
Year's
on a diet.
resolutions. Yeah.
There you go. Hey, I got to ask you a question while we got you on here. What is the difference between like regular marshmallows and just using marshmallow cream?
Marshmallow cream is way too thin in its texture, and your fudge won't it'll make your fudge too soft. It won't set up.
Oh, okay.
It won't set up as good as like if you just put the mini marshmallows in. So if you've already got, your colored marshmallow or whatever, you want to make the fruit salad, you would have enough actually of the marshmallows to make your fudge too. So, but the cream, I've tried that before when I was in my early 20s because I thought, ooh, that sounds kind of good. And, but the fudge never set, it just didn't set up. It was just gooey. That's all. It was just, you couldn't grab a chunk of it and eat it. You really needed to use a spoon.
What I always thought was kind of weird.
Good. Sorry, Sam.
When you go to these different bake sales, how different people's marshmallow treats can turn out. Because I guess some people use different butters or margarines or something or other when they're melting these marshmallows, or maybe it's the kind of brand of pan they spray the pan with or something. I don't know, but like they can taste so different, like so much different. And then but they always taste usually better than if you buy the ones that, are already pre-made at the factory or whatever. But it is just amazing how you can just pick up subtle differences, and it's just 2 ingredients,
Right.
Well, always use real butter. Always use the real butter, the kind that comes in the sticks, that's like 4 tablespoons per a little stick. Use real butter, and it makes all the difference in the world. Margarine is just like a thick vegetable oil. Blah.
Yeah, and then you have the spray butters. The people like Pam or whatever.
You don't need that on parchment paper.
Okay.
That's why parchment paper it's a baking paper like people use to bake their cookies on.
No, but I mean when they're warming up their marshmallow mix, don't they usually spray something on the pan?
No, because it's just going to mix right on through all the marshmallows because you are constantly stirring them.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about Rice Krispie treats?
Yeah, or yeah,
Yeah.
whenever you're Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah, you just get a pot that you have that you're going to melt them in a nonstick pan, and you'll be okay. You don't want to spray it. And what you're talking about the spraying is what they would set it, to set them up. But on Rice Krispie treats, I actually use wax paper, and don't worry about it being in a pan, because the way that you can spread out your Rice Krispie treats, you just get a piece of wax paper out, and then once you've got your mixture, you just kind of spread it out with a spatula, and then you put your sprinkles and stuff and just let it set up, and then cut it into the chunks right on the wax paper. And then if it's sticking to the wax paper, just pull it off. It's real easy.
Okay.
You can use parchment paper, but parchment paper is a little more expensive than wax paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you definitely use parchment paper for fudge.
It all sounds great. I'm ready to eat some. So who's cooking first? I'm ready.
I got to get the stuff to make the country fried steaks. So that's coming. That's my next cooking mission, because I think that's what you guys voted on last time. You want to know how to make homemade country fried steak, and with some cream gravy, and you can have it with eggs. People have them for breakfast or dinner. And way back when, good old boys was steak and potatoes, and nobody was overweight. Nobody.
Yep. Yeah, and I like the pork.
Because they used real ingredients like real butter and stuff like that. Go ahead, Sage. I'm sorry.
No, I like the pork version of that too, like with that white gravy and the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do country fried steaks, and because people don't understand how easy they are to make at home, and they'll buy the pre-boxed ones that are already breaded and everything, and they'll either deep fry them or bake them or whatever. You can do it at home and save you a bunch of money, and the taste and the quality is right up there, and you know what the meat is. And the other ones, it's like getting chicken nuggets at McDonald's. You don't know what the heck's in there.
What do you know about all these weird Impossible burgers and stuff that they're coming out with?
Impossible burgers?
Yeah.
You have to tell me more about that. Who's got
like
that?
what they have like at Burger King now, and the Wow burgers? They're basically like the alternative. They're like vegan beef taste-alikes. They're like a vegan burger that tastes like a real burger.
Well, so that's what you've been eating at McDonald's for years, and at least McDonald's all tastes the same everywhere you go. But I don't know how much actual ground beef they really use versus soy in their mixture, if they use any ground beef at all. Now, I can tell you about Burger King because I used to work there, and I can tell you about Wendy's because I used to work there. Back in the 80s, Wendy's actually used fresh hamburger meat, because my brother would come in and patty the meat, and I would come in and cut up the fresh vegetables in the morning. Then they started bringing everything in frozen and prepackaged. The same thing happened with Western Sizzlin', where I would cut the steaks and everything, and then they started bringing everything in prepackaged, and that's when I stopped eating it and trusting it, because it tasted different.
Right.
Things were not the same. But when they were being pattied up fresh for the day, oh my gosh, they were really super good. And then when everything started coming in frozen, not so good anymore.
Yeah, it is. You get, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And
it's cheaper on the company, and I'm not talking labor. So if it's coming in and it's cheaper and it's already packaged up and portioned out, and you don't have to have somebody come in and do it, then you're not getting the quality of what you would think it would be the opposite. But now you can actually home cook opposite than going to these places because they've jacked their prices up so high. But you're
Oh
really
yeah.
not getting any nutrition anymore.
Or if you're ordering off the dollar menu, it's such garbage that you're better off to spend your dollar elsewhere.
Now, Burger King, you were talking about the ultimate burger. I don't know anything about the fake one that tastes
Well, I mean, yeah, they just came out this year. McDonald's has one. I think Burger King's is called the Impossible Burger. But basically, it's a plant-based patty for vegans.
which would be soy.
Well, I think a lot of people are trying to like find something besides soy. I'm not saying there's no soy in it, but soy's kind of got a bad rap lately.
Soy green. It's made of people. Don't eat it.
So you saw Cloud Atlas, huh? Or did you see because you just said his line as he was trying to escape from the loony bin that his brother tricked him into thinking it was a hotel. So
thought-
greenest people, he's flailing his arms.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you already knew something about it, like that you had already probably did a video on it or something.
I figured that would be big out there in California. Just saying.
No, I've never heard of it, but I did work at a Burger King, and we took the meat and ran it through the charbroiler, and
Yep.
and it was really good, and it was fresh. It was like it came through the charbroiler straight onto the bun with all the fresh ingredients and stuff, and then down the heat chute it went and right into the bag. And I did like that about Burger King. You can really have it your way.
I worked at Burger King back in, I think it was 2002 or 2003, somewhere in there. And then before that, I worked at McDonald's. I worked at 3 different McDonald's before I got into working at Burger King. So I do know what you're talking about, and that is their meat is much better than McDonald's. McDonald's is all processed and frozen, and
I want to know this. At McDonald's, do they come in where you might just microwave it now? I mean, I look back into the kitchen and I really don't see a grill back there. I'm just wondering if now they got to the point where the meat's already coming in pre-cooked and they just microwave it real quick, put it on the bun and send it on out. But does anybody know anything about that?
no, it's been years since I worked at McDonald's. No, I remember we used to just all put the frozen patties down on the grill thing, and it was like a steam presser or something. You'd push it down, and it'd have a timer on it, and ding, all the patties are done. So I don't know anything about microwaving them, but who knows? They might do that now. I mean, it'd be interesting to look into or to ask someone who's worked there as of late.
Yeah, it would, because I know what you're talking about with that coming down. We used to be able to see it, and you could actually see like the steam and the heat, and you could see it cooking. But you walk into McDonald's and you don't smell burgers anymore. You only smell the French fries. You don't smell burgers cooking.
True. Yeah, I remember we used to put those down, and then we used to we'd put them down and season them, and then put the thing down, timer go off. It'd kick back up, and then you'd season the other side, because they would cook on both sides. It was kind of like George Foreman type grill technology before George Foreman grills were popular. It cooked both sides. So
yeah, and you would actually see the steam, and you would smell the burgers cooking.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get that anymore when I go into McDonald's. I only smell, which everybody is addicted to, is those dang French fries. I don't know. I don't want to know what's in their French fries because I don't like them. I mean, a McDonald's, nothing beats a McDonald's French fry. Well, In-N-Out, pretty pretty darn good, but they cut their potatoes like, well, back in the day, they would put them through the slicer as you ordered them, and then drop them right into the deep fryer, put it, right through the whoosh and down in the deep fryer. And by the time you got up to, and they were always busy. In-N-Out Burger is always busy, no matter when you go. By the time you got up to the drive-through window, all your stuff was ready to go. You were really literally in and out. But they have a small menu, but man, they kick butt with it. I mean, they have the best in town, and they're not that expensive.
Now you're making me want to go to an In-N-Out Burger. Problem is, we don't have any In-N-Out Burgers around here. So, thank you for that, Michelle. I appreciate that.
You're in the Midwest?
Yep.
I missed In-N-Out when I was in the Midwest. See, I was raised in Southern California. We had In-N-Out and Carl's Jr. and Carl's Jr. didn't, but this was before Hardee's and Carl's Jr. merged or whatever. And Carl's Jr. is good. Now we're back out here and Carl's Jr. is good again. I mean, I don't know. When they tried to do it in the Midwest, they kind of ruined it. It didn't fly. It didn't stay in business. But I don't know why In-N-Out's not out there, because, buy a franchise and get into the In-N-Out Burger thing, because they too will taste the same wherever you go to, but everything is fresh. So they've got a certain recipe that they do everything, but it's fresh and it's always busy. It's definitely a moneymaker. In-N-Out Burger employees are one of the highest paid fast food restaurant employees of. I don't think I've seen any that have paid better than In-N-Out Burger. Gosh, you're making me hungry. Honey, are you up?
There you go. No, I'll tell you what, man. I always heard In-N-Out Burger had good burgers and stuff like that, but for the longest time, we didn't even have a. We talked about it the other day because it's a Mandela effect. We didn't even have a Chick-fil-A for the longest time.
We used to have one with that was spelled chic, like chic, not chick, like a bird. My husband's like, do I have to go get it? But they one thing about In-N-Out though is there's stuff you can order that's not on the menu, like the animal double and animal French fries and things like that. They know exactly what you're talking about, and they will make it for you. So if you're aware of the animal style, I mean that one has everything you could think of on it, and then some.
Well, I gotta tell you, you make me want to install my Grubhub app. Just have someone bring it to me. I don't feel like getting out right now. I just order me some.
You don't have Uber Eats?
Yeah, Uber Eats. That's what it's called. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Uber Eats.
Where did I get Grubhub from?
That's a restaurant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Look it up. It's that's a restaurant.
I
swear I've heard that name before. The Grubhub. What did we do with Raven?
I'm here.
Okay. Because I know you can talk.
About the difference between Impossible Burgers and Beyond Meat.
Oh, no.
Yes. I'm vegan, so this is important. The Impossible Burger does have.
Oh, she's got info.
soy in it.
Inside, we get some inside intel here.
Yes, the Impossible Burger has soy in it. Beyond Meat does not. And they have said on their website on Impossible Burger that they do use GMO soy, and it is FDA approved safe. I don't buy it. So if I'm going to eat anything like that, it's going to be Beyond Meat burgers, because there's no soy in it. Okay, y'all can go back to whatever.
Well, I'm telling you, I really think that McDonald's burgers have been soy for a very long time. And that's why they taste the same everywhere. But I mean, I'm telling you, I don't even see where they cook them anymore in there. It's just like they just go down an assembly line like they go into a microwave. And I see them with the microwaves because you can sometimes see down into the kitchen. And I see the microwaving part. I don't see they used to cook it, like he said, exactly like that. It was like a steam press thing that went down. They would lay them all out and they'd bring that thing down. The timer would go off. They pull it up, and the burgers would be done. And I don't remember a lot of microwaving going on. So now it's like every burger is microwaved and it just goes down the assembly line, and I don't see where the grill is anymore.
Yeah, back in the day, all we used the microwave for was to reheat food. And that was it. Like someone brought it back, sent it back. This is code, man. So, like, can you heat it up? Because I got to have a hot burger. I don't want a cold one. So we used to, like, sorry, I was kind of trying to work on my Trump voice there for a second. But anyway.
That was supposed to be your Donald Trump impression?
Well, it was.
You should have said you're fired or something. That would have been better. Easier for us to catch on to.
No, I got a lot of work to do on that one, I know. But what helps is if you curl your lips up like this, and then you talk, but you got to do the right thing, making McDonald burgers great again. How about it, folks? There you go.
That's perfect. Oh my gosh. And McDonald's, all of their food comes from their own alleged farms. So I'm sure that they pay off the FDA or whatever they need to do to have their little soy burgers and everything. And I'm with Raven on that. And I don't eat a lot of meat, but we need our protein, so we've got to get it from somewhere. Well, I've got these shakes, and they're really good. They're banana and strawberry, but they have the protein in them, so that way I can maintain my weight.
Another good way is to have like eggs, like anything with eggs. Anything with eggs in it is good for your protein, and you get like more nutrients from the eggs too. I think, in my opinion, anyway. That's just Jeremy's opinion. How about that? There we go.
Well, I have a secret recipe for my deviled eggs, and every holiday, well, we used to have them all at my house, so, but other people would bring stuff, some of the sides and things like that. But I always had to make the deviled eggs because they like it, but I won't tell my secret recipe. I passed it down to my son, so it'll stay in the family because they like them so much, even my folks. But I couldn't tell them what my secret recipe is because my dad absolutely loves them. And then, but I could see that my mom would be like, you can't have any, because of my secret recipe. But man, I make some good deviled eggs. I didn't like deviled eggs when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So then when I came up with my own recipe for it, they're still deviled eggs, but they're much better now. They have the main ingredients and everything in them, except for I add a secret ingredient, and it makes the world of difference.
I never liked deviled eggs as a child either. I still borderline don't like them because I'm not real keen on the mustard ingredient. But I can get past that if there is something extra spicy to kind of throw off the mustard.
I go the other direction, and I guarantee you, if you ate one of my deviled eggs, because I did not like them to the point where I scooped the stuff out of it and just ate the egg white, or whatever when I was a kid, because we have to try everything. course, everybody would be insulted. My mom was one of 7, and everybody would bring something. It was like a big buffet when I was a child. So I had to at least try everything that everybody bring. They, but I would just take my spoon and scoop it out because I couldn't stand what the stuffing, what they put in it. But
I never was big on potato salad either. Like,
me neither. Don't like it.
yeah.
I was gonna say that during paprika is good on deviled eggs, and also during Easter time, my aunt, like after the kids are done like finding all their Easter eggs and stuff like that, she will actually kind of make deviled eggs with those and kind of dye her deviled eggs and have dyed deviled eggs during Easter. I think that's always kind of fun. I don't know.
I don't get it. Why would someone want to die just to make deviled eggs?
Ha 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 ha. But you know what? You're right. It makes a cute plate presentation, and a little bit of food coloring doesn't hurt you. You don't have to put them in there very long. Once they're peeled, you just dip them in the different colors, and they come out really cute. And at Easter time, my mom would take those Peeps bunnies and put them on a Twinkie, and then and they had little wheels. She put something in there for the wheels on it, so that it would look like the Twinkie was a car, and the bunny was the driver, and it had the little wheels and stuff on it. I mean, they come up with some creative.
First thing I ever bite off on a Peep is its head. I go right for the head, just bite it right off. I don't know if I'm alone in this or.
Right after you bite off the head, Hebrew, do you say, I don't want to hear another peep out of you?
Good one. That almost made me choke. I was taking a drink.
Well, at least you didn't spit it out of your nose like I did the other day.
That burns. If it's not water, it burns.
I like to take the plastic off of the Peeps and let them set for a few days till they get really good and stale, and then eat them.
Huh.
Yeah, I've heard of this before. It's the stale marshmallow Peep theory. I've tried it. I can see why people like it, but I'm not totally all in on it. Have you ever did the stale Peeps, where you let them sit out for get kind of hard, like half stale?
Well, I'll tell you, I haven't done that, but I'll tell you what, I'd like to see what would happen if you tried to make Rice Krispie treat squares with Peeps. Just sort of like, you'd have some interesting colors in there. You'd have your pinks and your yellows and your whites all mixing together there. And
blues. They have blue Peeps. Purple.
They do have blue Peeps, don't they?
And they have purple ones.
Black.
I mean, basically, it's just colored sugar. You could just couldn't you just put colored sugar on your Rice Krispie treats?
Colored sugar?
Yeah, they're very heavily sugarly coated around the marshmallow, so they'd be really super sweet.
Yeah.
I wonder what a Peep would taste like if you went camping and did the whole marshmallow, how people roast marshmallows. Instead of roasting,
you just want to do all kinds of cool things to your Peeps.
Yeah.
Bite their heads off so you don't hear another peep out of them. Roast them, toast them. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, a Peep s'mores. You'd have no more Peeps out of the s'mores, like Peep s'mores. I don't know. I was going somewhere with that and just lost it.
No chocolate s'mores because you got the Peeps, the sugar on the Peeps.
You could use the white chocolate candy, maybe.
Every time I come over here to watch your show, I always I'm starving when I do.
We always talk about food, and I always eat food while we're broadcasting. Isn't that right, Peggy?
I've caught you. I would directly ask you a question when you just put it in your mouth. Yep. That's
Right.
how we busted you eating pasta. Yeah.
Well, I was eating pasta at like 3 in the morning that one time.
Hey, anytime you're hungry and your body's telling you to get something to eat, get something to eat. Listen to your body.
It seems like when I do a broadcast is when I get the hungriest. It's like I sit here and I smoke cigarettes and try to mask it, and then after so many cigarettes, you're just like, no, I can't. I need to have something to eat. I need some tater chips, or like some pretzels, or chicken nuggets, like I had the other night, or just something. Even if I already had my supper, like. Every time I say, okay, I'm going to make me some supper now before I go live because I know I'm going to be hungry. But sure enough, no matter what time of day it is, no matter how much food I've had earlier on, it just seems like there's something about going live and just wanting something to snack on while you're live,
Uh-huh. Hey, I wanted to ask Raven, what do you serve for like your holiday meals when the family gets together? I would like to hear what a vegan's meal or vegetarian's meal is. What do you have for your main course, and what it is like?
Well, when I make a vegan meal for a holiday, I usually do like a lentil loaf. It's just a bunch of vegetables and lentils together with some mushrooms, and I put a little bit of hemp seed, ground hemp seeds in it to hold it together, and just make like a meatloaf. And then I'll make like different kinds of salads, um, mashed potatoes without butter or milk. I usually use vegetable broth with it. There are vegan butters that you could use, but I'm trying to keep my fat intake down, so I don't use those. Um, Sometimes I'll make like a sweet potato casserole that's got nuts and maple syrup in it, stuffing, got vegetable broth in it instead of chicken broth.
It doesn't sound too bad, actually.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That doesn't sound too bad, actually. I'm wondering, like like the chicken bouillon, if it's just all flavoring. There's no, because I mean that stuff lasts forever and it never goes bad. If there was actual chicken in it, you wouldn't be able to keep it. It's like a seasoning, so you wouldn't be able to keep it as long as we're able to keep it, where you just scoop out a little bit. And like, I think that's what they use in stovetop stuffing, stovetop stuffing.
Yeah.
So, and then you just add your margarine and your water, and you bring that to a boil. We used to put the packet of seasoning in first, and then when that was to a complete boil, then you would add the breadcrumbs in there, and then stir it in, kind of fluff it up, and just cover it, take it off the heat, and then allow it to absorb. I know that Kraft has us making it a different way, but I don't understand why, if it wasn't broke, why they fixed it. I mean, because that was a really good way, and it actually tasted well. They taste about the same, but I'm wondering if there is actually, because I don't think there is any actual chicken when you're looking at those powdered bouillons, and they have beef, and sometimes they come in cubes, or you can get the white container that you just screw off the top and then you just measure out. So I'm wondering if that is actually a non-meat, actually vegan food.
I think it's actually genetically modified. Some kind of scientist in lab somewhere squirting like those oils.
But it's been around forever, though.
Right.
I mean, when I was a little kid, my mom always had it. You can make chicken broth and stuff out of it, but it's really not chicken. It has the vitamins and stuff in
Mhm.
it, but it doesn't actually have chicken in it.
Yeah, I think it's just a flavoring.
Right. That's what I was. Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was kind of getting at, more or less. But I use those bouillon cubes. I also like when I used to eat ramen noodles a whole bunch. Like I would save up all the packets, and when it came time, like if I had a cold or something, I just heat me up some water and add some ramen noodle chicken flavor, which is about the same as bouillon cubes. But
Yeah,
it,
that's what I'm wondering if
yeah,
that is vegan safe. Is that vegan safe, Raven?
I don't know. I just use vegetable broth that I make myself, so I don't know.
Well, vegetable broth would be pretty darn good too.
There's
An olive oil is really good
the
to
name of
cook
the
with.
stuff, and they've got a vegan brand of that out that I sometimes use if I haven't had time to make my own broth.
And you can cook with, instead of that high calorie vegetable oil, use olive oil.
Yeah,
Olive oil is good. I mean, and it actually tastes more pure. It doesn't taste like olives when you cook with olive oil. It actually tastes cleaner than, it's a little more expensive, of course, than vegetable oil, but
that's all I ever cook with is olive oil. I
it
was
tastes good.
raised on it.
Yeah, and there's no meat products in that. Do you is that true, or are they sneaking?
no, it's olive oil is safe for vegans. Coconut oil is safe for vegans. Most of us don't use other vegetable oils because of the processing that they go through,
Mm-hmm.
and they can go rancid so fast. But olive oil and coconut oil don't go rancid that fast.
No,
And
and it tastes clean. Like when you
yeah,
it's a clean taste. You don't taste it like greasy or oily. It's nice.
yeah.
I don't
They're,
know
they're,
about coconut oil though. I have never tried coconut oil. I thought that would need like a little bit of a fruity flavor of the coconut. So it the same as olive oil?
yeah, you don't taste the coconut in coconut oil.
Hmm.
Yeah, you don't taste the flavor of coconut in it.
I'll have to try that out then. Thank you.
Yeah. And you can get the if you want like a when it stays liquid at all times, you can get the MCT oil and that will stay completely liquid. If you get just regular coconut oil, it in the wintertime especially, it will get hard as a brick. So because it is a solid, the coconut oil itself is a solid. Um, but the MCT oil, they figured out some way to process it to where it stays liquid. So I don't know. A lot of people who are on the keto diet use MCT oils.
How long have you been vegan? Are you vegan or vegetarian? I know there's a difference.
Yeah, well, um, I've alternated back and forth for years because I usually just go with what my body feels like it needs. Sometimes it needs meat protein, so I'll eat some chicken or something like that every now and again. Um, but for the most part, I'm usually strictly um, vegan. But it's because it's the way my body reacts to certain foods. Like I don't do well with most meats most of the time. Dairy makes me sick. I can't do gluten, so I have to work around that on the vegan side. Um, and I have a really hard time eating a lot of eggs because after a while they'll start making me sick. So, but yeah, it's mostly vegetarian slash vegan because every once in a while I might eat a little bit of um, like a white cheese of some kind, like feta cheese or something.
Mm-hmm.
But but not very much of it. Because, dairy it makes me really sick.
It makes a lot of people sick. I've had to cut my dairy back quite a bit. Causes bad stomach issues and other issues. So, I just stay away. I'll use it for cooking or whatever I need it for, but otherwise, no, I'm not a big dairy. Now, I will do yogurt, but there's something different about yogurt than milk and other dairy products. I can do cheese, but very, very little. But I am going to show everybody how to make a lasagna too. That's another one. I think Hebrew wants to know about how to make a lasagna. And I'm going to teach people to make a meatloaf. But you should do one on how to make a vegan meatloaf, like what you're talking about for your Christmas dinner. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I could do a lentil loaf thing, but I don't have really any way to film it unless I just do it with my...
Do it live from your phone.
Yeah, well, I don't have a phone.
What are you talking on now?
A laptop.
Well, laptops are portable.
Yeah.
Does it have a camera?
Yeah.
There you go. I have to do my cooking ones on my phone, so I can't see the chat or nothing. My daughter had got me a little tripod for it, and my phone's in really bad shape, but it will take the live video, so I can do the cooking ones, and I can move that little tripod around the best I can to the only problem is I have to stay next to an outlet because of my phone just drains really fast whenever I'm doing live streams. I don't know. Does anybody else have that problem in here when you're doing lives from your phone where the battery just like gets sucked dry? Hebrew, Sag, anybody?
Well, I mean, I can't do lives from my phone because I don't have enough subs. But but when I used to, before YouTube expanded its rule on how many subs you can have to do live streams, I had to. Sometimes I would have to cut them short because my battery would drain so fast that I just couldn't keep up with it, and it's hard to do. Like you said, you have like a little tripod. It's hard to do, especially if you're just using your hand and trying to hold the phone and do it live that way. But I hear what you mean.
That just like sucks the life right out of it. It's like YouTube sucks the life right out of it.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of YouTube, I haven't heard from Sagittariusly Speaking in a while. Sagittariusly Speaking,
it's probably eating. Thanks to you.
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm still here. I just I've just been enjoying the conversation.
You're eating. Don't lie.
Well, I'm not going to say the thought hasn't crossed my mind. That's for sure.
He's eating chips. He doesn't want to go.
You mean like I do?
No, you don't crunch. You eat stuff that's like a quiet. The only reason we busted you is because your mouth was full. Eating pasta, we wouldn't have known if we wouldn't have called you out right at that moment as your mouth was full.
Hey, you sure did. You caught on to me right away.
I'm busted. I'm busted. Well, you're so polite to answer. You could have just typed in the back and the side thing saying, "Hang on a minute, I got a mouthful," and then we would have just carried on. No, Sag would have said, "No, we want the answer now."
Right, because he's always pressing on,
Yeah, he's fun.
All right, so I got a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
I pushed his button. Sorry.
No, I mean just going back to like just Christmas holiday theme or whatever. Now, what would you say is your all-time favorite Christmas movie? Like the one that you look forward to the most each year, with it being Christmas time, it's probably going to be on TV, and even to this day, you still look forward to it, watching it or it being on TV.
It's a Wonderful Life.
That Scrooge movie.
Die Hard.
Which Scrooge one? The one with Bill Murray?
I like them both, actually. I like the older classics, but the one with Bill Murray, and I also like the other one where it shows like the girlfriends of Christmas Past or something, and he's going to his brother's wedding. Who's that? That dude that's in that one?
Matthew
I know
McConaughey.
what you're
Matthew
talking about.
McConaughey. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the Grinch That Stole Christmas. And I like the oldies but goodies. I become like a big kid, so I'll watch like Rudolph and those little like clay animations that they have. I just like I like all of them for different reasons. And I like the one that I was gonna say the one that Raven said, but she said it first, so I would be like, oh well, better come up with something else quick. Think, but I like that one, and and I like the one where they have the Macy's Day Parade. I think that's the same one. It's wonderful. It's a Wonderful Life is an old classic, and then the other one is where they have the Macy's Parade and all that going on.
Miracle on 34th Street.
There you go, Miracle.
Yeah, Miracle on 34th Street. Yep.
Yep.
Because he goes to court to prove that he's Santa. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he really was Santa.
Or was he?
No, because the one that was supposed to play the Santa was really mad.
Yeah, you're right. I just wanted to throw that out there.
You just want to see if I really watched the movie. But yeah, the one that was supposed to play the Santa was really ticked off that, because he was supposed to be up on that sleigh. And I mean, it wasn't like the guy wasn't going to get paid. They didn't know the difference. You know? And he was in a full costume. He did look pretty good, the one that was going to play Santa. But the real Santa actually really, took the cake, and he had the magic and was giving stuff out all the way through it. Yeah. That's a good movie.
If you were in real life, if you worked there, at the store on 34th Street, and some old
Macy's.
Yeah, on Macy's, and some old guy said, "I'm Santa Claus." I mean, he looked the part. I mean, how hard would it be to convince you?
I'm just thinking that it's in real life. Macy's is what's on 34th Street, but you might be right. They may have called it Gimbals in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Now in the original, if I'm not mistaken, and also the remake, but if I'm not mistaken, the reason why the guy that was originally going to play Santa, why he got kicked out of it is because he was drunk, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Santa
caught him drunk.
Yeah.
And said, I'm going to do this. And the guy was, okay, yep. See, I haven't got to see it yet this year. And a lot's happened in a year. So, yeah, you guys, it's like mind trivia. Has anybody here got a hold of the Mandela Effect game yet? The card game?
I mean, I've seen people playing it online, but I haven't. No. Have you? Do you got a copy?
No.
You got the deck?
I don't have it yet. But
okay.
There's more than 52 cards, and I think that, what did they say? There's 76 cards or something. But I think that that would be a cool gift to give people,
Oh yeah. I mean, it's brilliant. The market. I mean, just think of everything that is still new that you could come up with for Mandela related. If you wanted to go Shark Tank with Mandela Effect.
Oh yeah, and like you can tell, if you're losing like really super bad, then it's actually opposite. You're winning. But the other people will be like, oh my gosh, I'm winning, I'm kicking your butt. Don't you? What's wrong with your memory? they'll probably take you to the doctor and have your head examined. So be careful. Get some of the answers wrong so that way your family won't question your sanity.
Right. I mean, would you play the phone app version where it's recording your answers?
Probably because I don't care what the phone thinks. I just don't. I mean, if they're watching our YouTube, they're watching. I mean, it's out there. It's known who's who.
Right.
We're not like ashamed of our memories, and that's one thing that I really like is that people are not ashamed of their memory and will put the information out there that they remember it to be. Because you know how many people that actually helps comfort when all of a sudden you wake up one day and everything's changed and you want to just pull the covers over your head and say it isn't true, and you feel like you basically lifted off the planet, you lost your mind. I mean, a lot of things go on when you first or whenever this happens, and however it can be a pretty lonely and scary experience, and you'll isolate and you'll be afraid to talk to people because you just don't know what the heck happened, and then you'll think there's something wrong with you, and so you'll isolate. But by people talking about it, it just helps so many people. It's just so it is a good
I
thing.
have to agree. I mean, honestly, I did just that. I mean, when I first realized it, I didn't know there was even that a community even existed. I was totally oblivious, but I really felt that way. Just like you said, the few people I mentioned the changes to, it was Stouffer stovetop stuffing. I swear it was. When I realized that you couldn't buy it, that it never existed, I'm like, there's no freaking way. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
and the only thing that made it difficult was finding out that people were calling it something where I had no association or thought on Nelson Mandela. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that I didn't connect, but I did find the community, or I did find quite a few people talking about it, but they were, whether when you started, it got to the point where if you type in quantum realities, it came up, or misremembering, it came up. So all the search key terms, that you would feel that is going on with you, it would come up. So then you would find the comfort in all these people talking about it along with you. So I'm glad it's broadened out, and it does help other people.
Mm.
Why didn't you let me crash your show with Dan? I was gonna have at it with him. Bro,
Hey, bro.
stop eating. He's ignoring us. What?
He's probably sleeping now.
No.
No, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
I said, why didn't you let me crash your show? I would have let Dan have it. I would have given him a run for his money.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it that day or something. I don't know.
Or were you so engulfed by his voice? You're like, Dan, because you were his number one fan. Dan, I'm your number one fan. And then you called yourself Diva Dan for a while. And then, you were his stalker. But then to find out you knew him, and it was like an ongoing joke. Because I was like, who is this dude? Dan, should you be concerned?
Right.
I'm giving you a hard time. But he was talking about singing and then all of that. And then he said something else. And I was like, oh, put me on there. Just let me defend myself. And no, he just ignored me.
Oh, speaking of ignoring,
Uh-oh.
you guys never did let me get to say my favorite holiday movie, by the way. But that's okay. That's all right.
Oh, we moved past that. Just kidding.
But But I will have to say that to me, the holidays just aren't the holidays, or Christmas just isn't Christmas unless you've watched Christmas Vacation at least once during the holidays. And then it feels like, okay, it started now. That's my one go-to movie.
Oh my God, that is so synchronistic.
Hmm.
My mom and dad want to watch it. Oh, we lost him.
Oh wow.
You-
Yeah, I like the Christmas Vacation movie as well.
Yeah, and my mom every year on Thanksgiving, that's how she starts her holiday. So we actually bought her the movie, and we also have one here. So depending on where we're at, we could put on the Christmas Vacation with him with all those crazy lights and all the family showing up. And oh my God, that's so synchronistic because I mean, like that my mom can't. It's almost like her flagship takeoff is that movie.
Now
We're
with my
holiday season.
parents, when I was younger, it was always the Christmas movie with the Red Ryder BB gun, and you'll shoot your eye out, kid. He hangs the lamp in the window with the looks like a leg. What's that movie?
A Christmas Story.
Yeah, Christmas Story. That one was. I just remember my parents would always play that. They would play that movie a lot.
That's an
Yeah.
oldie but goodie too. Classic. Some of these classics are really good.
Now the Die Hard is debatable. Bruce Willis insists it's not a Christmas movie, and he hates it being labeled as such.
I would absolutely disagree with that. Say it is a Christmas movie. It has Christmas things in it, therefore it's a Christmas movie. It took place on Christmas, and they even sing Christmas songs at the end. So definitely a Christmas movie. And another one that I would consider a Christmas movie would be Gremlins. It takes place around Christmas. They're inside of a Christmas tree there in one point. They're singing Christmas carols, and there's Christmas music in that movie as well. So it's
Okay.
all the marks off of my checklist as to what is considered a Christmas movie or not. So there you go. That's my opinion, and this has been Jeremy's opinions. Thank you.
My name is Sagittarically Speaking, and I approve this message.
I say that we should all oh gosh, you made me forget my tagline. Share what we know so we can all listen and grow. It has never been, this is Michelle's opinions. Bye.
Oh wait, I hit the wrong button. I meant to do this. How about that?
Oh my gosh. You know what that sounds like?
What's that?
I'm not going to say it.
Uh-oh.
Do it again. Uh-huh. What does that sound like?
It sounds like when you lose in a video game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What are you talking about, Michelle?
Put the sounds and think of what kind of words send out that same vibration.
Huh?
All right, I'm with you now.
That's what this one would be.
No. No. Disagree. The other one. Press the other one again. I think Sag just got it. Mm-hmm. That's if you tell me that over time, I'm gonna come over your house and smack you.
I mean, you can almost hear it saying, "You lose."
Or
Well, I was trying to keep it PG.
they were trying to make me say it.
Yeah, what is it you're trying to say there?
Thank you.
Give me the first three letters.
But change the thank to
You know when you're telling somebody thank you, but you really mean
You mean FUCK? Tell her I said hi.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do that. Never mind.
Raven, you know it sounded like that, right? Like when you heard that, you're like, what?
Yep, that's what I was thinking too.
Have you guys heard the one on Moneybags channel that he just did recently?
No.
Oh man, we gotta do it. It's
We'll
only
share
like
it. Play it and
it's only
share it.
like 8 seconds. Go to his channel real quick, Hero.
Moneybags channel.
Yeah, Moneybags
Moneybags
73.
76,
Who's
37,
Moneybags?
or 48.
Who
73.
I've never heard that
Yes.
name before in my life.
But the guy that he did that radio show with said, we'll be right back with Moneybags 37.
I know, right?
And I was like, you're so busted, dude. I said, are you trying to Mandela him right now while he's on your show? Change his numbers again or what? And then he hung up. That guy hung up on me. That guy does not know how to use a mixing board. For
Talk
running
about
a radio
trigger.
show.
That would trigger him so bad too.
Yeah, because he's already been accused of his name being changed from 76 to 73. But I think I do kind of remember it being 76, but it's not like a predominant one. We're just talking while you find it and pull it up. But we're filling space for you, Hebrew.
Right.
So
Thinking of another more familiar reality. Oh, is that it?
Hold on, I'm looking it up for you now.
Dealing with the Mandela effect. That's his last video. I mean,
well, he said it's
Hold
only
on.
a few seconds long.
well, this one is more than just 8 seconds.
Oh, it was from 6 days ago. The new "Hear What You Want" phenomenon.
Oh,
I love those.
you know, I was just joking when I said who's Moneybags, right?
Yeah,
No.
I know.
Okay.
No, I think it's the dementia setting in, or your confabulation.
Yeah, you're gonna have to screen share.
Oh.
Now
Okay.
you know I was just kidding when I said that, right? Oh my gosh, we're playing reruns now.
3 months ago, 5 months ago, 11 months ago. Dude, just send the link to Hangouts because I can't.
He said 6 days ago.
Okay, well,
You know what's it called, son? It's a sound one.
1 week ago. Oh, here's 6 days ago. Okay, I got it.
All right,
Oh, it's the
Um,
big. It's the
screen
big. Butt.
share.
I'm a big butt kisser. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Now screen share because we have to be able to see what it says.
Hold on, man. Hold on, just one second here. Let me get the. Now you're gonna have to turn off your mic when I'm doing this because it seems like your mic is interfering with our.
All right, yeah, but just play it one time. Like let him say it once or twice, then pause it, and we'll all say what we thought we heard. We'll play it once or twice, pause it, we'll say what we thought we heard, okay?
All right, let me get in
All
this
right.
punch here. Just hold on to your suspenders there, Saggy. Never mind. That was. How come I can't do it through application window? Oh, here it is. There we go. I'm getting better at this, you know it?
I see.
Let's see here. Oh, I can't scroll down and play it. Oh, there it is. Duh. Okay, you guys ready? I have to rewind it back a little. You guys ready? All right, here goes.
I'm ready.
All right, cool. All right, here goes. Ah, it's loud. Oh, I guess I better stop. Cancel. Okay.
So I always heard whatever the screen said, it changed to that one. What did you guys hear?
Well, I gotta say, I was hearing exactly what he was typing in, but I'm wondering if that's a psychological thing where if you read the words as it's playing, if you're affected by that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. I was thinking probably because it was just repeating the same thing over and over. That's what I was trying to say. Just let it play once, maybe twice, and stop it, and then play it. Let one play, and then stop it. You see what I mean?
Oh. Do you guys want to hear it again?
Yeah, but only let it play one at a time.
I don't get it.
Like I'm a paper chaser. Pause, and
Okay.
then we'll. You see what I'm saying?
Play it again, you mean?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
what did you hear?
I heard Paper Chaser. Yeah.
All right. Now, yeah, you could either rewind it or just hit play.
But it could be the subliminal on the screen.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah. So close your eyes and think of the other one. Where you know what I mean? What I can't remember what they all are now. Go ahead, Hebrew.
I heard paper chaser and I had my eyes closed that time.
All right.
So let me do this one. Now keep your eyes closed, guys. That time I heard because I'm a big butt chaser.
I still heard paper chaser.
I did too. Still Paper Chaser. Like chasing the dollars.
No, I'm still hearing big butt chaser.
Right. Well, I read it, so it influenced it. I heard big fucking slut.
Did you?
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't. I still hear paper. Like money. Like she's chasing the money.
Let me play it one more time.
Okay, that time I heard Big Butt Chaser. And I'm not looking at my screen at all.
No, that's one of the options,
those words
actually.
aren't even.
Well, let's see what chat has to say, if anything.
I can't see chat while I'm sharing my screen, so
Yeah, I'll go look.
Michelle will, or you or Michelle or Raven have to do it.
I heard paper chaser every time.
Really?
Yep, every time.
One time I could swear I heard big butt chaser, and then I heard big butt kisser, but I didn't hear the fucking slut part. So, you know, I don't know.
I don't see anything in chat.
But I never actually ever heard because I'm a paper chaser. That's the only one I didn't hear.
Well, try to hear that this time. See if you can hear it.
Well, let me play it again. Hold on. I heard it that time. I heard paper chaser and I had my eyes closed.
All right. So that is weird how every time it can sound like something totally different.
Yeah,
But for other people, it never changes. Raven, you said it never changed, not once?
Well, this time I heard butt chaser.
Okay.
I don't know. It's so weird.
It is. Now let's play it backwards. No, I'm just kidding.
I wish that option was up there. Play it backwards. I can hear myself over my. Am I hearing myself over my speaker?
Raven chased everybody out of chat.
Uh-oh.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. No, it does.
What were we talking about that everybody got upset? Raven, you remember? They're saying something was evil or something, and that nobody wants to talk about it. I don't know how long ago they put that in the chat, but you were paying attention. I was on this screen with you guys.
Yeah, I totally missed it. I wasn't in chat.
I remember seeing something in the chat earlier that someone was getting an evil feeling or something.
Affected by Grace was feeling that the Mandela effect is evil.
Oh, okay.
I don't get that feeling from it.
I don't either. I feel blessed by it, actually, that I could see the changes. I think I mentioned that last night on Dan's show in the chat, where they were talking about how they felt about it, and some people get evil feelings on it, but I certainly don't go that way. I go the complete opposite way, especially knowing or not knowing, but believing that it's the Father giving us these messages. It gives me a good feeling that I'm blessed that I'm able to hear these messages, or at least that's one guy's opinion.
Well, in the scripture, it says God will pour out his spirit on all flesh. And, we still have our sovereignty and our freedom of choice on whether or not we're going to go after the truth. And if your heart is open to wanting to know the truth, it's like veils are being lifted off of people. And then, there is a shock, a little shock we all go through when we find out everything was inverted and backwards and that we've been under a spell for so long. But it's like, I agree with you, Hebrew. It's like the veils are coming off and we're able to see, how things have been manipulated here. And so we would see things the way they wanted us to see them. Now we're taking our sovereignty back, and with the veils being removed, that we are seeing things for how they are and seeing that, they're changing, which is a great possibility that it's been doing that for a very long time. We just didn't notice because we were under that spell too. And remember, it also talks about that none of the veils or whatever would be lifted. They check your heart condition, and those that would be sealed on their forehead with the seal of God. And then the veils are being lifted. So it is a blessing to be able to see, what this place truly is, and, and how we're all going to come together. There will be nobody left behind. In the end, all will know, all will kneel, all will be in the glorious presence of God Almighty.
Not only that, but I mean, I agree with everything you just said 100%. But on top of that, I mean, I think it's your own personal vibe, your frequency that you radiate on. I mean, speaking for myself, I know I don't put myself in radiate like in a frequency where I'm even thinking evil, like expecting any type of evil to come near me. Like I'm already, always trying to put out that positive vibe, resonate in a positive realm, and not have negative connotation, even as a possibility, as a possible outcome. If I can, so I don't even give it manifestation potential. Does that make any sense? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, because you realize that it's all you. You're sovereign, you're free, and you're creating it. So if you're calling something evil, then you're manifesting it as evil. There is no good or evil. There is right and wrong. But even then, we're being the judge on what we think is right and what we think is wrong. And then we're judging other people where we should be actually judging ourselves. That's the only being that we have the right to judge is ourselves, because we don't know, unless I was standing in a room and I actually witnessed it, then I could say, okay, I know without a shadow of a doubt. But anything that's put out on the television or anything that is given to us secondhand, third-hand information, it's like playing that game telephone when you're a kid. If the message starts out one way, by the time it gets to the other, it's something completely different. So I completely agree with you on that. It's where you resonate. And if you're looking and pointing fingers saying that's evil, or then that's what you're going to find, because that's what you're looking for. Me personally, I'm seeking the truth. No matter what the cost, I want the truth. And when you say no matter what the cost, that means, I will go to the greatest lengths to know the truth. And it started with reaching out and seeking God. And by reaching out and seeking the one true creator of everything, no middleman, no, going straight. And even Christ himself says you are in no need of a mediator. You have the ability to go straight to Christ, or straight to God. I'm sorry. So even he did not want to be worshiped. He did not want to be king. He did not want any bloodshed or violence. It is just a matter of, like Saj was saying, what your frequency is, what you're able to understand, and that helps you with your growth. And if you're at such a low vibration, and it's not a competition, everybody's got to walk out their own path, but you're still looking for things that are good or evil, and then that will stop. And then the awe and amazement of this place will settle in, seeing that not only do we change things at the moment, but it can actually change all the way back to conception, that it never happened that way. I mean, for that to be revealed to you, and then you get that understanding, it's like, oh my gosh, wow. I mean, it's mind-bending and mind-blowing, and it takes a little while for our minds to get caught up with our heart, because our logical side is like, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. Then we want to curl up in the corner because we're like freaking out. But then, then you see that others are going through this very same thing. It brings comfort to you, and then it allows you then to step into the going after the truth and just keep pursuing as more and more is revealed. I agree with that. That is, but when I am in somebody else's house, like this is Hebrew's house, I'm going to respect Hebrew's rules in his house. I'm not going to do anything to offend him, or because I think everybody has the right to choose how they wish to believe. We're sovereign beings, and I'm not here to change anyone's belief structure. What I am going to do, is the best I can for people to introspect instead of looking outside in the world to try to validate their existence. Look within, because you are already validated, perfect, and you will see things through the glasses or through the outlook that you see it. Nobody can change that. The only one that can change that is yourself. Hope that made sense.
Oh yeah, totally. And you know how you're familiar with the whole double slit experiment, where it's a particle form versus wave form, and it doesn't choose one until it realizes there's an observer. When it realizes there's an observer, it usually chooses the wave form. You're familiar with all this, right?
Yeah, but others that may come across this later may not be. So, sure.
Well, basically, what I'm getting at is, I was thinking about, I'm actually sitting here thinking about how that could possibly apply to the Mandela effect, in the sense that when a lot of times the things that we notice, we're not, there's a difference between it happening a certain way and us remembering it a certain way. And the difference is when we observe the change, then at that point is the change. Now we're the same thing with the particle versus the wave. Once we observe the Mandela effect, or we observe um, the fact that we actually make the observation that, hey, this is a Mandela effect. At that point, I think something volatile happens to not only to you, because you become a quote unquote, I'm using air quotes here, observer, but the effect itself, if it really is a Mandela effect, if it truly does qualify, and it's not just, it's not just maybe it is one, maybe it isn't. This is going to be a real one that everybody really resonates with, and you're going to find that really hard to reach residue. That is where people, lots of examples where people really remember it both ways. Those are the ones I think where you actually kind of, we talk about how it flips back and forth and all that kind of stuff. It makes me think that that really is a lot of the same qualities that you're getting from that experiment. But then when I want to take it a little bit further, and I want to say, but then are we affecting it when we're actually making the observation? And that's the part where I'm not 100% sure. I was curious if you guys think we do. When we actually once we as a community start to create, think of this as a Mandela effect, accept it as one, and we acknowledge it. Do you think that that has an effect on it in the sense that now that it's been observed and noted as one? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like we're each drops of water in one big ocean, and we affect all of the droplets of water around us. Think of that as the double slit experiment. And once the droplets of water all start to partake, that we can then create this place to be paradise. Where there won't be any haves and have-nots. Everything will be equal because we already are equal. When God looks down at us, he doesn't say, this is my favorite and this is not. I'm going to make this one rich and that one not. It's a free will. So, and it also is looked at by our heart condition. Are you in service to others or service to self? And a lot of the people that are really rich, they stepped on a lot of people getting to where they're at, and they didn't care how it affected them. So that's, food for thought right there. So, but that still doesn't negate the fact that God looks at all of his children as his children. They get chance after chance after chance to raise their vibration, as you said earlier.
Right. Yeah, that's really all I had. Did you have anything else you wanted to? Anybody else? I mean, we've been on here
Well,
going over 3 hours now. I think we should start wrapping it up, maybe.
that's a good idea. And I just now saw this. I just now saw this on our private hangouts. I don't know how long ago you sent this, Raven, but did you say that you have some information on Jesus's birthday?
Yeah, but we already went over that.
Oh man, yeah, but this is a new development though. I thought.
No, it was just the information that I had about, them saying that based on John the Baptist's birth.
Oh,
Well, share. I didn't hear it.
okay.
Well, some people just calculated that Jesus was supposedly born 6 months apart from John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was conceived in April. So if you go 9 months from April, I can't remember what date that would have been. And then 6 months from that, I think it would have been like in
July
or June, something like June.
June or July. Yeah, because he would be in January. John the Baptist would be somewhere in late December, early January. You think that there's a chance that we have all been celebrating Christmas, but it's actually John the Baptist's birthday, not Christ's birthday?
No, that's not how they made it sound, but they made it sound like he was born either in late August or early September, and that we've been celebrating it as part of the pagan holidays of many of the sun gods, supposedly being born on Christmas Day, and when we should have been celebrating his birthday in either late August or early September.
And wait, when did you say that they found that John the Baptist was conceived? In April?
Yeah, he would have been conceived in April.
That would be May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. So he would have been born in January. 9 months.
Right. And then there was supposed to be 6 months difference
That would be
between.
July. Yeah. Okay.
So if you go 9 months from when, something like, you go 9 months from when John the Baptist was born. So he would have been born in January. If you go 9 months, then it would have been in September sometime.
Oh, you wouldn't go another 9 months. There were 6 months. Right. They were conceived 6 months apart.
Let me see if I can find that article again, because it explained it a lot better than what I'm explaining it.
It could be 6 months or yeah, they did say it's in the scriptures that they were born. He was conceived 6 months before, and she was supposed to be barren. And so then they were having their child, and then Mary was pregnant. And that's when she went and joined up with her, I think it was her aunt. And she said that her baby flipped and then she said, Mary, are you pregnant? Because her baby like flipped in her womb, with like rejoicing. And it was right after Mary. So, and she was 6 months pregnant at that time. So it could be a little, she could have been a couple weeks pregnant or a month pregnant because, sometimes it takes a little while to realize that you are pregnant. Do we kick Hebrew out?
I don't know. Okay, so here's what this says. It says, since Elizabeth was in her 6th month of pregnancy when Jesus was conceived, we can determine the approximate time of year when Jesus was born if we know Elizabeth. Okay, so John's father, Zacharias, was a priest serving in Jerusalem during the course of Abijah, and that would have happened around June 13th to 19th in that year. So he left temple service in mid-June or late June, and him and his wife found out that they were with child right after they left there and was returning home. So assuming that John's conception took place near the end of June, adding 9 months brings us to the end of March as the most likely time for John's birth. Adding another 6 months, the difference between John and Jesus' age, brings us to the end of September as the likely time of Jesus' birth. Did that make sense?
Yeah, except for why are we adding another 9 months?
No, it was
6 months.
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 6 months. So if you add 6 months from, let's see, John's conception took place near the end of June. You add 9 months to when he was born, which would be March, and then you add 6 months to that. That would bring you to the end of September, as when Jesus was born.
September. Yeah. Okay. So it is May, and that would bring you to September, adding 3 more months to it. Interesting. See how things are being revealed? And the thing that really, like the Mandela effect, I don't even know why we call it that, because I don't have any affiliation with Nelson Mandela myself, but it was the Bible change. that happened in my hand, the one that was physically with me that I was reading, and the penny turned into the denarius. I mean, the denarius turned into penny in the Bible. And I was like, Caesar's face was never on the penny. It's always been Lincoln. I don't know what they're talking about. And then all kinds of changes started happening, like banks and matrix. And I mean, there's so many changes that are in the Bible, that my physical Bible that I had in my hand, which to me would seem impossible. But now I think anything's possible. It's just, the veils are being lifted, and we're, understanding, and it's amazing. But the Bible change that happened in my hand, not something I saw through the internet, is what really freaked me out, and put me in the huddled corner. I was like, what? How could this happen? This, my Bible changed, and I have the King James version, and it changed. They didn't even call them pennies back then. It wasn't a new revised version where they try to update things so people understand. I just read it, and it said denarius. I put my placeholder in there, and then I would read back, a few paragraphs, a few verses back. So then I would get back into where I was at when I left off. And that was where I read it again, the part where I read again. So then I could continue on. And that's where the change happened from denarius to penny. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, no, this did not just happen.
What year was that?
Hang on. Okay, I asked my husband, and he thinks it is between 2012 to 2013. I know this much. There wasn't many people talking about this stuff, and I thought I was losing my mind.
Right. Yeah, I didn't physically see any changes until I saw that the lamb and lion had changed in the Bible.
Yeah, I had to look that one up too. That one blew my mind. People are not going to make all of these imageries with the lion laying down with the lamb. And I was always brought up with that they're both symbols of Christ, the lion of the tribe of Judah and the lamb of God. And so to change it that the lamb shall dwell with the wolf, it's not laying down with, this is dwelling with. It's like, is that where we're at now? We've got, lambs dwelling with wolves before the separation. I came back with the Batman. Hey, bro. But yeah, there's been so many Bible changes. It's just, it's mind-blowing, mind-bending. And I always remember all those beautiful paintings inside of churches. I also remember posters. I remember trinkets that you could get that had the lion and the lamb, and it says Isaiah 11:6 on it. I mean, it was mind-bending. It just was. It was a lot. It was a lot to carry, but there was a lot of relief that came in 2015 and 2016 when so many other people began to see the same thing. So the comfort level, I wasn't so quiet. It still took me a couple years before I started talking about all the stuff that I've seen and that I've been through. And, it took me a while because you feel isolated. You just feel like you don't know what the heck is true, and that's all I kept praying on, was to seeking the truth. So I don't know how many others, there's probably countless others that either may have talked themselves out of it, that they're, maybe they've lost their mind and checked themselves in, or are just quietly not talking about it. They may be observing and watching other people talk about it, and getting their comfort level and trying to wrap their mind around, or getting the comfort and wrapping their mind around that this is not just a phenomena that they were dealing with by themselves, that there are several that are actually having the veils lifted. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It was scary only to the point where I thought I was losing my mind. But my heart was always in the right place, or, things like that. It's just, I just thought I was losing my mind. That's the part that scared the bejeebers out of me.
Right. Well, the Lion and the Lamb was the one that woke me up because when I was a child, I had a plaque above my bed that had a picture of the lion and the lamb and a little girl standing beside them. And then underneath it, it had the Bible verse in Isaiah that said, "And the lion shall lie down with the lamb." And I read that every morning when I woke up and every night when I went to bed. And I had that probably from the time I was about 8 years old until 16 or so when I left home. And I don't know what happened to it after that. But it stuck in my memory, because I had read it so many times over and over again. And then when I saw that it had changed in the Bible to the wolf, I don't have any evil connotations towards the wolf because I view the wolf more along the Native American lines. But that really shook me because it does change the whole outlook of that verse when you put the wolf in there, especially when you know that saying about the wolf in sheep's clothing. So that one was the one that really got me. And I did, at first, I thought it was something evil going on. And that's why when Affected by Grace said that she felt that it was, evil, I could understand why she would think that. She might still be new to exploring all of this. Because it did feel evil to me when I first read that about the wolves, sneaking in there. And not only, not lying down with the lamb, but now dwelling with the lamb.
Right. And I did found a Mandela effect test or whatever on
cave.
What, Batman?
I said Robin to the Bat Cave.
Let us finish our conversation and then we'll jump off. Okay, just hold on.
All right.
I like talking to Raven, and she actually did a pop on with me the other day, and she's got a lot to share, and cool. I'm looking forward to her doing a spontaneous pop on with me again. But I found the Mandela effect test, and I put it up on the channel, and read the questions to everybody, and everybody could write their answers down. But it said Isaiah 11:5, and I'm like, I had to pause when I was reading the test out, and the only way that I could go through it is I had to go through the test at the same time as everyone else. I went through a few of the questions, and then I realized I can't back up, so then I had to go back to that page and start it like all over again. So I was just doing it, but it really threw me off when it said it was Isaiah 11:5, and then I actually went and pulled my Bible out to check, and it still is Isaiah 11:6, but it still does say that the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the lion shall lay down with the calfling, or what. It's not the whole verse is different, but they use dogs and things like that for herding, never wolves. Because of, like you said, the wolf in sheep's clothing. A wolf can act like it's giant, I'm not giant, gentle, but in the meantime, it's killing the sheep. When the shepherd's not keeping a close watch, a wolf will grab one and it, by its nature, and it will eat it. They're carnivore, and You know, I personally, if I was hiking or something, I would not want to run into a wolf. I have no problem with running into a dog, but a wolf, it has a different, you know, different way about them, like bears and even lions, for that matter. Um, they'll attack you. So yeah, that one really, really stood out. Also, I had to look that one up in my scripture because I'm like that. There's no way they couldn't change it because of, you know, there's memorabilia everywhere, and I too have seen in the church. I've seen the paintings. We had like the where the like the it was the Bible book, but they would have a painting on one side of the lion with the lamb, and then it actually had the scripture, Isaiah 11:6, and then what the scripture said on the other side. And I don't have that anymore. That was something from my childhood also, but I remember it just like you do. I remember it. So it's like, oh my God, you know, what's going on here? So that's what the one that shook me the worst was the Bible changes. The, you know, that my physical Bible in my hand changed, and it wasn't something I saw on the internet or anything. I mean, it changed in my hand. So when people are seeing these things that changing in their physical, like, you know, something that they've had for a long time changes in their physical reality, it's a mind bender. I mean, it can really knock you for a loop. But just to see so many people come out and start talking about this stuff, and it's starting to happen to other people, and it could have happened to them a little earlier, but then they finally came out and started talking about it, brings so much comfort to others. That, and I do not get the sense that it is an evil thing either. I just do not. Oh my gosh, now he comes up as the Joker. Oh, you're such a mess.
I know. I'm bad.
But
But
yeah, that was. I'm pretty much done. I was just wanted to finish up, unless she has something else that she wants to say. But yeah, that was a big shocker for me. And her owning something too makes it very personal. That's a very personal effect when it's something in your hand, or that you had, or you know, it's very personal.
Well, hey, look, guys. Well, Raven, did you have anything to add to that? If not, I've got something here. I thought we would go out on something a little bit more jolly. I might get a copyright strike for this, but what the hell? It's going to be worth it.
Don't say it.
Well,
Don't
no,
practice that. You won't. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. But I think she unmuted. Mm-hmm.
this is kind of a funny sort of holiday song. It's a new spin on the old Batman Jingle Bell song. So I thought about going out on that. And before I forget, I like to wish everybody out there Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, whatever your holiday might be. And thanks everyone for tuning in. And hey guys, you know what? I think we've had a really good Shifty Sunday here tonight. What do you guys think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really well-rounded tonight.
Oh, you mean we've been live this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
It's so funny. Thank you for sending me an invite. I was thinking I could just tell you in the chat, but you know,
Oh, that was
I hope you got some good recipes out of that and got some good ideas for some easy fixing home cooked treats and whatnot. And then Raven gave some awesome recipes also to make a vegan or vegetarian Christmas dinner. So, and it does seem like we're all turning that direction too, is that, you know, we can't look at an animal and then turn around and eat an animal, even though we're not the ones that killed it. It's still in our mind, and our hearts are just like, you know. So I'm with her on that. I understand that that perspective and that understanding. So thank you, Hebrew. Appreciate the invite.
thank you for being on. I really appreciated it. You know, of course I do every time that you're on. You're always fun.
I know I'm gonna have to make sure that I write it down on Tuesday. I will. I'll make sure.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, this has been fun, and we're gonna go out on this song. Here's Jingle Bells Batman Smells, a newer version of it, I guess. So here we go. If I can get it to play. There we go.
Batman's in the kitchen, Robin's in the hall, Joker's in the bathroom, I'm peeing on the wall. Penguin's in the potty, his arm's too short to wipe. Catwoman's in the litter box, and Riddler smokes a pipe. Oh, jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Batmobile lost her wheel, and Joker got away. Oh, jingle bells, the Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the wheel, and Joker got away. Scarecrow's on the run, Commissioner Gordon's on his tail. If they were down in Georgia, this would land them both in jail. Batgirl's out at Arkham, the Batcopter won't start till Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn gas it up with farts.
Oh boy. Okay, good night, everybody.